Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, Supercoach Pro. Today, this is your Sunday evening rage trade talk. All the games will be wrapped up from this evening's games and whatnot. Big week for me. I've just gone bang 203. Well, I should say 2003. If you're wondering, Max, where he is, he messaged me today, but he hasn't said if he's going to jump on or not, if you're talking about Hippo. But yeah, tell you what, big night for some scoring around the grounds. I think 1900 to 2000 is a good score, in my opinion. 2000 has always been pretty good for the buys. My score was 2003 this week. So went huge. If anyone wants to jump on that's a content creating, is seeing this now, just inbox me. I think I just nailed the rookies this week. That was where I went really right. I bought in nice. I don't know what he's got now, 89 or 90 there you can see on the field. And then who's the other rookie? Lindsay scored a 78, so sort of covered my Max Gorns and players like that. Other than that, my side's actually pretty solid. We'll scroll down. I'm not sure which one my screen is sharing because it's got two Supercoaches open at the moment. Oliver in the flex, he went nuts tonight as well. He went 130. I'm not trying to rub that into cheese, but yes, that was handy as well for my side. Maybe it's this screen that we're sharing. It's so hard to know. If anyone tuned into the live stream last night with Rookie Coach AFL as well, go check that out because that was an elite stream. That was like 2.5 hours. His first live stream, and I thought I'd jump on with him there, and that was peaking. That had like 70 something, 80 of yous there in the stream, and I appreciate doing that stream with him. That was really good last night after the games. I'll go through some of the games instead of looking at my team. Yeah, cheese. I remember seeing it inbox just before about trading out Clary that you did was, a big move. But, this is why you kind of don't trade primos, but people need to restructure. So 1930 BC Tommy's pretty decent as well. What did Max get? 1871 with some bad scores. Let's go around now and look at the scores around the ground. I'll just present the screen and share a different one. Okay. Good evening, Yaron. What's Cheese saying there? I'm going to need some stronger impact when it blues after this. Yeah, you literally will definitely need better than Winnie Blues if you're going to do that. Now, I'll share this and go through some of the sides that played tonight or today. Bloody adverts. So this should be updated. There might be a little bit of scaling either way. But yeah, Jordan Clark, wow, that's huge tonight actually. 123. Not trying to flex, but he's my pod pick. He had 92% time on ground. Smashed it today. Did really well. Brayshaw did okay. 107, I suppose. I don't know how the hell Sarong got 100 being tagged, and it was on like a 50-something at three-quarter time, and had a few big plays, but I didn't think the scaling was necessary for him like that. That was almost like Bont territory of scaling. So, yeah, he got off pretty well for that. But, yeah, you're a happy owner, that's for sure. Luke Jackson, I still think he's a solid pick in the forward line. I think we're underrating this pick. I know old mate will come back into the side. I've just gone blank. Darcy will come back into the side, but I think Jackson's still a solid option, especially if you mess around with your R2 and you could work at 300 grand to go from Flynn to Jackson. It wouldn't be the worst move, and then you could move Jackson forward. Luke Ryan, 96. That's pretty crap for his price tag, considering he's like 630k. O'Driscoll was probably a must-have rookie out of the lot this weekend for me. It was him or Levi, but clearly O'Driscoll's got the scoring capability. I know there's others to come back in Freyo's side, but 96, that's huge. Corey Wagner, no for me. I think he went 77 last week. Does look good. They use him often, but I don't think any of the rest of them are really Supercoach relevant. Murphy Reed, I suppose if you got him, you'll be happy with 76 for sure. Looks good in patches. Who else we got in there? Erasmus is no-go. Swans, Chad Warner, 123. That's pretty standard for a Warner on a good day. Expect a 70 on a bad day. Matty Roberts, that was really nice score from him too. I wonder how many kickouts he got because he didn't get all this game. 116 is very solid for his price tag. I actually think he's not a stepping stone. I actually think he's a keeper. Oh my God. Bice has been scaled up to 97. I'm going to brag this time. I told you guys to bring in Bice, and I've grabbed Bice, and he's delivered a 97. So I was bloody right about that pick. So anyone that jumped on to Bice thanks to me, no worries, because he kicked that goal, and that was unreal from 45, and he just took the game on. Rowbottom's not Supercoach worthy. Grundy's a shell of himself, I feel, still. I know he got subbed off like the last quarter, but yeah, big call to manage a player there and then, especially because he's better than Adams. Heaney tagged. That's annoying, but I don't think he's a huge owned player anyway. Hamling's a rookie. I think he scored 76 the week before. He's 159k, but you could grab him after the bye. Corey Warner only did 57. That's annoying. I don't have Warner. And Sheldrick's a dead rookie at 15. So I'll go into the chat, and then I'll go into the next game. I'm so glad my screen was sharing that. You guys are smashing the comments right now. Don't forget to give us a like and sub if you haven't already too for this. Cheese. I'm going to need something strong. Oh, yes, that's right. I did go through that. Good evening, Yaron, and all. 1985 for Duck Pastable. Very nice, mate. Very good score. 1983 for Scott. Yeah, lucky it's best 18 because like players like Gorn, which we'll touch into shortly, were just awful today. He got baffed by Cherry. 2021 for me. Wow. Yeah, well done. That's huge, mate. Cheese, what do you get? Fatty said, Vardy. I don't know if I've butchered that. My apologies. Bice must have after his buy 100%. That's why I went early on him. He was a rookie that just looked so enticing. If you watch last week's game, you just knew. Hey, mate. Hey, what's going on? CH 2053 for him. Wow. Cheese Strong Owners got saved by Champion Data 100%. They got kissed on the you-know-what. Jonas Goat, Gorn cooked, can't even jump off the ground anymore. So sad. Yeah, what do you do? He'll bounce back. Short is gone. Yep, I did warn people about Short. Garcia stunk it up as well. There's so much stuff we can talk about. Cheese says, was talking to Janeth and I made fun of Spilsy for saying, get Bice and throw away the key. He came back with, should have thrown away the key, brother. Yeah, literally. And if anyone, Spilsy's very good with his rookies. He always has been. So I've improved on my rookies majority of, I feel, this year. Just really missed the Dolan pick for me. Other than that, I think I've done okay. Bills, 1918. I think that would be about par Bills, to be honest with you. Gorn is gone. Yeah, very true. We know what you mean by that. Gorn ruined my week. Same with Horn Francis, though. Like, there's a lot of players that would have. Chico Garcia was sub. Like, there was a lot of drama. Stewart scored a 9, got injured, so that's a waste of a trade. So many people need to go Gorn, Short, Harry, Shees. That's a big call. If Gorn and Shees are your biggest problems, I'd be good grabbing the rookies. I wouldn't worry about your primos unless they're scoring sub 50. Clayton, he says, my hopes were through the roof after last week. Shot me back down to reality. 780, 6 scores of 39 or less. That's rough. Jonas already upgraded Perry Spud to Bias, told everyone to punt. Backline, yeah. Yeah, same here. After Bills, boys, I go on to the next game and just brush over it. Probably, I think maybe 1900, just with all the drama that's happened over the last little while. So, yeah, what a game, though. What you I couldn't believe that game. North Melbourne and Melbourne. That's Goodwin and Boss. That they've got shaky job security, surely. Like, I'd be worried if I was Goodwin. The group chat in our stream is going nuts right now. I'll have to reply to them later, but my score update's actually 2015 now. Anyway, I'll look at that later because you can't set it on the screen right now. You should be able to see the North Melbourne and Melbourne game. Tristan Cherry, 136. You're laughing if you went with Cherry over Gawn. He just so reliable. Like, stuff what people think about this fixture stuff in terms of hardest fixture for ruckman, because Cherry is number one ruckman, clearly R1. I should have went with my gut in this instinct. I'm not going to blame anyone but myself and take accountability for going for Gawn because of the no Briggs matchup. It shouldn't have been a one-game walkout. It should have been like, all right, I actually like Cherry. He's like mid-20s. He's in the prime of his career. North Melbourne are sort of on their way up. They've got a good enough midfield to hit too. And Gawn's always going to come down some year, and it could be this year. So for me, that's a complete miss. And next time I probably won't read into all this fixture about he's got the hardest 6 ruckman in the first 6 rounds or some bullshit like that. Apologies for the language, but yeah, that's really annoyed me. Tom Powell, I know people looking at him, but I just want to see a whole breakout year before jumping on him and maybe go there next year. LDU, 108, pretty standard from LDU. You want to see the ceiling if you're an owner. She's a 102 on Dream Team, but 81 on Supercoach. Yeah, he did just rubbish it up in the last 10 minutes of the game when they're already up and smashing them. Parker's sort of a nothing pick. I actually thought he would be better than that. 79 is pretty disappointing. But for the price tag, it's not the worst in the world. Finn O'Sullivan's got to go for me. So Finn O'Sullivan will probably turn to O'Driscoll. And then I'll turn Doland into Henderson, which I'm about to get into the Melbourne side now. Clary, walk away, cheese, 130. You've probably already seen that, so don't worry about it too much, mate. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Salem, 110. Did discuss this a little bit. He's not a bad little pick if you want to sideways a Perryman to him. Petrarca, underwhelming, 78. That's really disappointing, actually. I think poor Steve's got him, actually. Xavier Lindsay, I bought in as one of my rookies this week. He looked good last week, purely based on the eye test, and he scored 78. Henderson, too, he's definitely coming in. 72, kicked 1 goal, 1. He looked brilliant. He's a 99K rookie. So just rookie correction. I don't want to really see too many comments saying I want to trade out my primos. I'd be grabbing these rookies because that's where the cash generation comes from, and that's where the good rookies on field come into play. Like, if you're trading, let's say you trade, I don't know, who am I thinking of? Sheasel down to a Dale. Any given week, they could score the same. But if I'm running Xavier Lindsay and you're running Max Hall, for instance, like, I'm going to win that every day of the week by probably 30 points. So I'm going for the rookies that can score well, while others are just going to sideways the hell out of stuff. Gawn. The only way you'd get rid of Gawn is you'd use a boost. Now, this is hypothetical. You'd use his cash on let's say Basilenka is away for 2 or 3 weeks, and then a rookie that's dead, maybe you combine some cash and grab yourself 3 undervalued picks at 400K, I don't know, give you an example, like a Callahan, Chera, and a Dale, and you use that sort of money into one expensive player, a mid-pricer that failed, and a rookie that's dead, something like that. Make it a little bit more creative than just sidewaysing. I feel like the comments are going off their head. I haven't seen any anyway, but I will in a second. And then Sharp, not a good rookie. I never liked him as a wing for Melbourne, and nothing really else. Jefferson, I think, is a rookie. So I wonder what happened here. Injury here. He's a rookie. So let me know in the comments what happened to him. I catch most of the games in bits and pieces for the Sunday games. So what do we got? We've got my screen completely freezing. That's brilliant. The comments, there's so many comments, so I've actually got to scroll 3 or 4 high now. I'll turn off. Okay. Let's go through the comments. Get the hell out of it. That's what I want on a Sunday night. Internet was doing well, and then everyone just like, yeah, there we go. It's finally up again. So I was up to Scott's comment. He says, Gorn and Nank did my score in. Yeah, Nank scored you a 67, so that wouldn't help at all. Tell you what, I'm really looking forward to internet next month with Optus, because this is ridiculous. Jonas says, Gorn looks injured though. He was behind. Cherry and can't jump, will be bleeding cash. This is what I'm saying, exactly what I'm saying. Like, you could use the cash from Gorn if you really wanted to and fix up your team before the price plummets, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you're improving to other spots potentially. Cheese, just Perryman to Dale for me and bring in the rookies I need, like Lindsay and either Murphy Reid or Henderson. Worried about both for job security. I don't think you got to worry about job security for these guys. I think you just run with it and not worry. Like, all the rookies have shaky job security, in all honesty. Max, Shee's role is so bad. Brad Zorko in. What was Shee's role today? I saw him a lot forward from when I was watching, so I'd like to know your thoughts on Shee's and Gorn in the comments. Probably the two hottest topics, I reckon. Clayton, Jack Ross isn't looking like such a good pick now. Yeah, Clayton, that's more draft, isn't it, for a smoky pick like that? Don't forget to give us a like and sub to the channel if you haven't already, because we're going nuts in chats on a Sunday night. You love it. And let me know when Supercoach is lifted out so we can have a look at my ranking and then see your rankings in there as well. Cheese might even go down and get that corrected. Yeah, you definitely could do that for sure. I'd be using a boost this week potentially just to get some things sorted before the price changes and whatnot. So yeah, something to really think about there. Short to Dale, says Max. I think that would be pretty hot. I like it, Max. What else do we got? Yeah, Murphy, Reid, and Connor Sullivan, both pod rookies. They're good pod rookies to have too, Bills boys. No one's going to pick them up now because they'll have too much other stuff to fix. Too sideways, this complete sentence, my friend. Bills, yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be trading him. Rookie coach, what's going on, mate? Good gym session we had this morning. I'm feeling it. I had to do like abs tonight. I'm stuffed, so. But yeah, scores 2015. What did you score in the chat? I'll check the inboxes later. Good to see you're on. What do we got? Steve says Rankin's sub sucked. Yeah, it did. He was on track for like a 130, but he did get points for briefing on the bench. If you didn't catch that game, he was on 88 or something at three-quarter time, went up to 97 by the end of it. Jonas says Gorn beat Cherry easily last couple of times. He is injured for sure. I want to know, any Melbourne supporters, do you think Gorn is injured? But I'd love to know your thoughts on that, because if that's so, yeah, he's out of my side for sure. Oliver was a jet. I apologise for anyone that traded out Oliver. I never recommended that, but I feel for you. I genuinely feel for you. Max, not having Oliver hurts. Yeah, there's a few of you in chat that were like, I'm going to anti-pod Oliver, and I was like, that's probably not a good idea. I think the preseason game I watched him play convinced me not to fade a guy like that, and it gave me a bit of a reality check. Those goals were a bit fluky, mind you, but I was like, I'm just going to jump on because he's cheap enough. Geez, my only thing is every year I have a terrible round 2. Yeah, okay, so I'm not too worried about it. That's positive, cheese. But not having Oliver killed me this week, 100%. I was getting scared of not having Neil or Zorko, Neil or Dunkley, and then I had Zorko who outscored both of them anyway, so I didn't care too much. So yeah, Bill's boy says, Max, did you fade? And that's it. That's a definite. He did, Bills, unfortunately. 1834 cheese. Oh, that's rougher than sandpaper. That's like eating sandpaper for breakfast and then going to work. I've changed clothes 3 times as I've been vomiting uncontrollably. Oh my God. I hope you're joking. I hope you just mean in like about your score, but if you're dead set throwing up cheese, shit. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I hope that's just like a pun about the score. Never picked. Wow. I'm not even close to catching up to these comments. Rookie coach, I think I've seen your comment in there. Let me send you a link. All right, let me send you a link because then you can help me scroll through those comments. Where do we go? All right, bear with me. Everyone's in the chat. There's 41 of yous in there. So I'm just happy that I actually scored well in round 2 because if you guys have been following me for the last couple of seasons, I've had a rough start a few times now. So to finally get just a nice, decent score is what I've been waiting for a long time. So I'm just going to invite Rookie Coach. Going to send you an email. So apologies to everyone that's going to hear this email sound at the same time. Because it's quite loud sometimes when you do this. Supercoach on a Sunday night is very entertaining. All right, as that loads, just bear with me. All right. What do we got? Jonas says, short day gone. Week all need to go for me. Yep, I totally agree. And then he's got Bill's boys. Do you think these trades are good? Day for Lindsay, Foss for Henderson, prior to Dale. Yes, I do. I definitely do. I love that this is taking me forever to send you a link. Brilliant. What else we got here? Max looks hurt and old, and there's something going on out of footy. Maybe Max Gawn is a trade out then. That's really concerning, Max. I did see the statement from Goodwin, and it didn't look good, did it? With what they were saying. Rookie coach, if you're still in the chat too, my internet's lagging so hard for Gmail right now. Like, there's so many comments that my Gmail doesn't know what the hell's going on. TBG can honestly go screw itself. I generally hate TBG right now. Yeah, it's gonna lag so hard if I try to invite. So I'll let it just do its thing for a second. Please don't lag. I know. I'm getting internet next month anyway with Optus because fuck this shit. Sorry for the language, but it's really pissing me off. All right, what do we got? Bill's boy says Oliver is the GOAT. He's just had a mental health issue recently, but the talent was always there. 100% he was. I scored 2015 this week, mate. I'm just going to send the chat to Rookie Coach. Give me 2 seconds. All right, sorry, I just had to message him personally because it's fried. At least next month I won't have this issue. Max has got a 2030. Wow. Wait, has my score gone up again? What the hell? Okay, it says 2015. I'll take a 2030 if that's true. Yeah, as soon as that Gmail loads, I'll give it a crack because at the moment it's still stuck on that screen. Cheers, Max. WD Brad. What's WD Brad mean? Does that mean like what doing? Or does that mean what score I got? Maybe it's a sharing screen that lags hard. I don't know what it is. NWM is good. I'm having a blank here, crazy. Who's NWM? Are you talking about the Saints boy? Messiah? Tom Stewart update anyone? I don't know, but I feel like it's going to be a 6-week injury. I'm not a doctor, but didn't look great on the knee. If we find out it's a PCL injury, we get stuffed. Max, his roll was like 40%, mid 70% forward. That's 110%. You're not mathing there, mate. All right, I think I can send this email now. All right, let's try this. And if we lag, Rookie Coach can host it for a bit if I end up jumping out for some reason. All right. Come on, Gmail. Don't let me down now. I'm just going to type in the email. Because I'm so keen for this. I just got to send. I wish it was a quicker way. All right, bear with me. I'm going to get Rookie Coach in here. Then when I see him say add to stage, I'll do that for you guys because it's definitely more fun doing it with another person, especially a duo session. Since we did such a good session last night too, I think we should definitely do that. All right, he's typing, so I'm going to send this to him. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to send the link and get it set up. And worst case, if my stream does drop out, he'll have the ability to host it. All right. I type like a grandpa too, so if you're wondering what's taking so long. All right. That was a pretty epic live stream too. Like I was very excited for that. I couldn't see how many people were on because it didn't show me on my end, but man. All right, my gym buddy. Let's send him a link. Sending now for your AFL rookie. Or Rookie Coach AFL. Send your name backwards. All right. As that goes to him, I'll get back into the comments and I'll find out if he's in studio at some point. Steven says trade short or Perryman. Maybe even both, to be honest, before the price projections. Okay, that should have been sent to him now. Jonas says, hey, Brad, Rookie Coach wants to send his girlfriend over to your place. I don't think that's what he meant. That's definitely not what he meant. Jonas, very funny. Get off it, Jonas. Yeah. Oh, my God, that's funny. Let me know if you got the link too, mate. I'll just see if I can see if you did. Oh, yes, in stage. All right. Just loading him in now. I can see it's coming through. My internet just loves to play mind games with me at the moment. All right. Should go through shortly. What's going on, mate?
What's good?
Mate, I'm keen for this session. I didn't know you'd be available, but how did you score, first of all?
Well, I think it's shocking, but I think it's around par. I scored a 1938.
That's actually, I feel like that is around par. I think you're right. With the carnage that's happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it because I've got some pretty easy trades to do, which will hopefully help me climb back up. There was always going to be a correction for my rank. I got lucky with Dunkley to get into the top 1%. So if I'm anywhere near the top 10%, I'll be stoked.
How much points different were you and I? Do you know for round one?
What was your last score?
Because I was 2218 was last week's score.
2218, and I scored 2263.
Okay, so I'll be about 20 points in front of you. It'll be interesting to see how many K difference that is. It'll be a weird one. Like we could be literally 20 points apart, but be like two or three K spots different because it's just so close for the first 6 rounds, especially with the best 18.
Yeah, for sure. And that's all I'm really playing. I feel like, yes, it's best 18, but I also feel like there's a window to capitalize on that if you trade right. So that's exactly what I'm going to try and do.
Is your go by if you trade right the rookies right and maybe use coin correctly, like a max Gorn, and you can then split that money over 3 players with a boost? Is something you look into, or would you just only target rookies?
Well, I've got all the rookies that I need at the moment. The only person I'm getting rid of rookie-wise is Boss, and I'm putting him down to a Henderson, which then means I get to move Stewart on and move Pez on to both be absolute keepers. Because Stewart to Dale is about 7K, and I've got 43 in the bank. So then 43 plus, let's say 80 between the difference of Henderson and Foss. That's the keeper in defense. So I'm either just going to straight back in my defense at really 5 strong guys and have Roberts at my D5, and then probably have Pryor rotate through a D6. And then once the buy finishes for Sydney, bring in Bice for like a Pryor, bank the cash, and off we go.
Yeah, so at least you've got it planned out too. I think it's always better to go in with a plan like that rather than just trying to wing it and then not sort of know. You know, in your Supercoach 2, there's actually on Supercoach Gold you can use notes as well in that. Do you use that in the watch list?
Yeah, I've got notepads. I've got notes. I've got notes for my notes. I've got GPT calculations for spending cash. So I know I've got the cash to do it. It's awesome. I'm a nerd.
Yep.
I'm a nerd.
We would sound like total nerds.
Yep. Absolute nerds.
What have we got in the chat? 100%. Score went up 4 points.
Hey, you take that.
Yeah, mine went up significantly too. It went up 12 points. So I was pretty happy with that because the week before I had the opposite.
Yeah, right.
All right, what do we got here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what does that. Josh says Gorn wasn't injured. He just tried to play a physical ruckman against one of the most physical rucks. Oh, physical ruck game, sorry. Yeah, right. Did he not pass the eye test for you? I didn't get to see a lot of that match because I was watching the back end of the other game.
He got washed by Big X. I'm not sure. I think physically he looked okay. He just got outbodied. I think it was Gawn's mental game.
Yep.
Because after I swear, especially in the second half, after every ruck contest that he lost due to physicality, you could just see the frustration on Gawn's face. Like he was so not in the game mentally. He checked out. So he did do a stint on the pine and got a rub down on a hamstring, but I don't think there's any like physical injury to be concerned about. I think as what the coach led on, I think there might be something going on behind the scenes that maybe he wasn't present. For me, look, Gawn's score is trash, don't get me wrong, but like a Sheasel who underscored, a Gawn who underscored, you'd hold them. You don't even consider trading them out. Like, even if you do want to go to like a Cherry or something like that, I don't do it. I promise you have more problems than trying to spread cash from Gawn.
I've definitely thought about using Gawn's cash just because I don't have many problems. But I might throw it up to you once I see my lockout lifted, and you might see some crazy things. I'm not sure I ever go through with it because my trades from a Sunday night to a Thursday night are completely different.
Oh yeah, we make the rage trades. We make what we think might be ideal trades as soon as lockout lifts, and then Thursday could be a completely different thing that we do. That's just how it works.
It's like a reality check too, because then players get dropped that you weren't expecting, like we had with Hasty and Flynn.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree.
And then Jackie has gone nuts. He's gone to 2080. He was inboxing me in that last quarter, and he was telling me about his scores going up, and I'm like, oh, this guy's going to actually smash me this week. I was having a good night, and then Jack just puts the icing on the cake and says, don't worry, I've done one better, mate, basically.
Yeah, it's
well deserved.
I thought I was going to be a lot lower than like 1900 because I did realize I was taking Gawn 63. I was like, here we go. But I think the one thing that kind of let me get behind the pack was my Dunkley captain. So I don't think I'll captain him until I know a tag's coming for Neil, because they just spread it and then Zorko popped off. So I should have captained Zorko, but hindsight.
Yeah, that's right. Such a weird thing, isn't it? You're like, oh, it makes sense now that I've seen it, but prior to that, it just wasn't there for you.
You're just gonna have
I'll be honest with my side. I think my side got lucky due to the rookies on field. Actually, my trade-in. So Bice coming in for a 96 and Lindsay with a 78. I couldn't have asked for two better rookies. So they have actually deleted some of my scores. Like Trainer's 24 was out of there. Foster's 42. Max Hall's 33. And then two more scores was 58 Nevitt. And then the worst after that was Max Gawn's 67, I believe. So I didn't even have Gawn as my score in my team, which is why it's so high, to be honest, I reckon.
I mean, look, if you did the Pez down to Bice, you actually gained, 300-ish K and gained 40 points on field? Like 30 something
which
points?
Is ridiculous.
40? That's crazy.
That's 39. Crazy. Yeah. Right. And all the eye tests for me, like I saw how well he played in that quarter, and I was like, this boy is going to at least get me 80 to 85. I'm going to trade him in. I'll recommend him. And there's like a 1% chance in my mind that I've gone too early and I've recommended a dud pick because I just had a really gut feel that he was going to do something. I just wasn't sure because Sydney distributed the ball between Blakey, Rampy and whatnot. I wasn't sure how much of the ball he'd get kick-in wise. But I just saw the way he took on the game and they looked for him as well and they didn't burn him much. So I thought this could be a sneaky one. No one's going to go there. He's going to have a buy, so it makes no sense to bring him in. And sometimes you just got to throw those darts, I think.
For sure. One of those tricky ones.
See Jonas comment.
Oh, Jonas is on something else tonight.
Yeah. He probably just woke up again.
Yeah, probably.
Cheese, Jack absolutely wiped for me in the league matchup. I think he would have wiped, like, if he's in 20 leagues, all 20. Jack would have today. Like, what an absolute, like, legend.
Mm. Mm.
I like this. I like this Batman and Robin.
Yeah, 100%.
What was the game of the week?
Stewart.
You.
What was that, sorry?
What was the game of the week for you?
Actually, I have to say, it was probably Freo in Sydney.
Yeah.
Most
100%.
likely.
I might go into one of the other games because what's the one game I haven't done already? Because I just knocked these ones off. I didn't do the Brisbane and West Coast one. Did you watch a lot of that? I watched a fair chunk of it. It was actually surprising, wasn't it, the first half?
Yeah, it was like West Coast had a really good first half. And then it just kind of like Brisbane just switched up and they started getting a little bit more cleaner with the ball. And then they just, yeah, it was actually like a much more, like we expected a blowout, an absolute blowout. And then we didn't get it. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the theme now as we've gone, oh, Richmond are going to be blowouts. And then they drop Carlton and bring back a, 41-point deficit. And then, we go West Coast is a blowout. Look what, Suns did to them. And then they actually kept up with, the reigning premiers. Like, you never really know.
I think footy's always like, generally, apart from North Melbourne over the years, has been like there's been never like a given. There's always been like, oh, here's an upset of the round that you never would have picked that was paying $10, and they've got up and won, and you're like, how the hell am I not getting 9 every week in the tipping?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get my tips in this year in time. I was too busy focused on Supercoach.
Literally. Well, do you want to run us through this game? I've already talked about the other two games today on screen. Or can you see that on your end? Because I know, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. That's perfect. Well, start with Brisbane. Zorko, that's a piggy. It's piggy. He's literally back to being a pig. He scored, what did he score last week? He scored a 139 last week. And then backed it up with a 136. Absolutely crazy. So if you brought in Zorko and you said, you know what, we know he's old. We know he's got some injury cloud upon him. You're getting heavily rewarded. Oh, we're getting an ad.
Oh, no. I actually press open because I'm special.
Oh my goodness. There we go.
Damn it.
So bringing in Zorko was an absolute win. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Just wait till Brad gets his internet.
All right. I'm going to share that screen.
It's going to be a new man.
I know. I couldn't believe how much like there is, and because there's like, I don't know, there's honestly that many comments in the chat. My internet was like, you were going to pay for this right now heavily, and because I've cancelled it, I feel like they're stitching me up.
Yeah, there was some
so I go back and
really hurt person from TPG that's like, nah, you don't get to cancel us, we cancel you.
Literally, like, I can't tell you how much it's been like mentally killing my stream.
Yeah,
all right, I'll share that screen.
Not great.
Nah.
Right. Yeah, so Zorko, yeah. I'll bring it up on my screen just to read through it while we wait for things to catch up from the dial-up internet connection that Brad has at the moment.
Pretty much.
But we had Zorko pick it up. If you captained him, you were very, very happy. Neil did pretty much what we were expecting it to do. If you traded out Neil, I want to do an interview with you because I need to study why you traded out Neil, especially if you went Neil to Dunkley. Any Neil trade out was not at all the fight. Like, it was always the incorrect thing to do. But we pretty much just saw the Brisbane midfield eat it up. We had Ashcroft, Dunkley, Neil, and McLuggage all pop off for over 100s, which is crazy. Will Ashcroft got 104, so if you held him, you take it. Dunkley got a 117. He actually had the better first half compared to Neil, and then just got a bit quieter. Upon watching, I think he spent some time on Tim Kelly, which is always probably the downside when we have Dunkley, is he kind of gets thrown those jobs to put a bit of heat on someone. So 117 in this sort of week, you're still taking it. It probably just wasn't the best captaincy option for me or anyone that did captain him, especially when you had like a VC in, say, like a Rosie at a 130. Even Oliver scored a 130, which is crazy. So definitely plenty of better options for captaincy and vice captain, but you take it. We got through the round. I am going to put this in the books as probably the worst round of the season for me, hopefully. So only way to go up's up. Who else do we want to talk about? Levi Ashcroft, 72. Solid. I think we were all kind of hoping for a little bit more, hopefully in the 80s, but a 72 in this week is more than acceptable. And that's really there is to talk about Brisbane. Really, honestly, you can't really take too much away from Brisbane other than they are just a good team. And they brought it back and got the win. But West Coast put up a really good fight. The only player who turned up for West Coast was indeed Kelly. We had Clay Hall step in for Jack Graham, who I think had a calf injury, so he sat out. He scored a nice 88. We saw DeWar, I think that's how you pronounce his name, rookie, 84. Again, job security, not too sure. We had Marek, which we had some eyes on in the preseason, come out for a 72. Not bad at all. We had Reed. We're going to talk about Harley Reid just because I think this man cares about putting on a scene for theatre than actually playing football or trying to get into fights. So just unfortunate for there. Elijah Hewitt, 58. I mean, pretty on par with what he's been producing. It'll be fine. I think you hold him. You don't look to trade him out or anything like that. Archer Reed, a 9. Not great at all if you bought him over Boyd. It is what it is. He was cramping up. There was a lot of pickle juice flying around. It just is what it is. That's really all there is to talk about the Weagles. Again, nothing too crazy. We got what we expected essentially from the game, I think. Oh. Is it just me, guys, or let me know in the comments if Brad's frozen for you guys, because I cannot hear him. Archer Reed on field, because why not? Oh my goodness, cheese. Oh, look, Bill Boys, that's a great question. I can't highlight comments, guys, so that's a bit unfortunate. But I think they'd be, oh, he's gone, and I'm in. This happened last season too, where I just took over the stream. Guys, what are we going to do with this channel? He's gone. I know, Max. This happened last year as well. I hopped on. It was like one of my first streams, joining him, and all of a sudden I'm hosting it by myself, and we're doing it again. My goodness. But to Bill's question, who has more testosterone? I think it actually might be Brad. I don't know if you guys have seen him in the gym. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Yeah, exactly. Rip Big Brad. So you come over to my channel for my first live stream last night. Did really well. I come over here and the universe is like, nah, just give it to Rookie. Just how it needs to happen. I'm going to keep an eye on my phone in case he does message me. He hasn't. His internet's gone to the bin. His internet has played as well as Tommy Stewart. Lasted for a quarter and then out he went. Not good. Not good. Jeez. We'll see what happens. I feel like if I leave, it's Freeman's. So we'll give him a little bit. But Good question, Josh. There are probably more questions up in the comments. Someone did also ask. Sorry, Max, you did ask about She's Little Zorko. Good question. I think it's a bit early to trade out Sheasel. If he's spending 70% forward consistently, so I'd say he is about to lose cash. Oof, that is a tricky one. If you've got the trades to do it, I don't mind the idea, but you're only banking 30K. Like, let's be realistic. You're banking 30K. Okay, so Brad is coming back, guys. He's just resetting his net. So let's just say you bank 30K, you spend a trade. What is that 30K going to give you? Like, there is some sort of value that you want to be kind of putting each trade on, which is probably, it used to be like 150K as like what a trade would cost, essentially. It's probably more like 90K given the flex and something like that. That's like the number I've seen thrown around a fair bit. So I still think it's a bit early to go Sheasel down to Zorko. But hey, if that's your biggest problem, you're sitting pretty. So by all means, go ahead and do it. Welcome back to my stream, Brad. Glad to have you on.
This is the second time this has happened. My internet is fucking resetting itself. I'm on my phone using normal Optus data. So TBG, go fuck yourself. Tom Stewart, I was about to bring you in this week. You can also go fuck yourself. Macintosh, this has made me have a blowout. I'm about to lose my shit. TPG knows I'm cancelling. Optus is coming in on April the 18th, and I've got to pull it up with this shit. Anyway, back to the comments. I don't know what happened. I've missed it. I was listening to it on the missus's phone, so now I'm on my phone doing this, and I'm not going to go back on my laptop.
Brad was listening to me talk shit, guys. Oof.
Fuck.
Nah, it's good. For Josh did have a question about what are we doing with Stewart if it's like 2-3 weeks? Get rid of him. He is the easiest trade up to Dale because it's only like 7-8K the difference. Whereas most people are probably going short to Dale. So they have to fork up about 100K. Oh, sorry, probably about 80K to get a Dale in. Whereas if you have Stewart, you just flick him to Dale and spend money elsewhere. It's the most logical thing to do. Yes, there is, interrupted preseason and everything like that, but I think you just do it. Stewart was somewhat of a risky pick. It was a fallen primo pick, but Dale seems to be in red hot form. Dale's also going to get a price rise from these massive scores. Don't expect these scores to continue because they're most likely not, but one can hope.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've calmed down a bit. I've just had to take a few breaths and I don't know, think about the good things like beating Carlton and my Supercoach scores. So I'm just going to stay on my phone and read the comments with you. But you know what I also need to do before this really goes to shit? I need to charge my phone because you know how bad I am at this stuff.
Oh, dude. I'm gonna buy you like a permanent like charging dock thing so you don't run out of cords.
Someone buy me a dongle or whatever you call those internet sticks that I can plug into my laptop so I don't crash.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone did ask also before who has more testosterone, you or Harley Reid, and I said you.
Honestly, I think these guys would have hated seeing me play football. I used to scrap anybody. I got the nickname Bulldog in a preseason because I was running down the wing off halfback flank. I took on a couple guys and then I got chased down, like mowed like a bloody lawnmower. And so I got pissed off. I end up, free kick against. So I didn't back the ball to the guy. Instead, I just tried to rough him up, give him a few sneaky jumping punches. And then I gave away a 50. So, yeah, I was just Bulldog from the get-go, and all preseason that stuck until round 1 as well. And there's another guy in our side as well called Mad Dogs, and it was either Mad Dog and Bulldog always starting the fight. I've honestly got a bit of little man syndrome here, a bit of Jakey King thing. So I remember my parents coming to watch a game one day, and I'm up on the boundary, and the Rackman's tapped it, and he's just giving my players shit all day. and he went to grab it out of the ruck, and I just spear tackled this guy so hard into the ground. I look up, my old man's standing there on the sidelines, and I'm jumper punching him like as much as I physically could. He was double the body length of me. Mind you, for reference, I'm about Caleb Daniels' height, and I was going up against like a Nank type of player, and I was just trying to I don't know, stick it to him. And then anyway, about 10 minutes later in the game, I'm just ball watching because it's not down our end, and the ruckman's come off from the bench. As he's come off and come back onto the ground, he's just hip and shouldered the shit out of me, and I just sat on my ass because I did not see it coming. I was watching it on the opposite side of the play. And anyway, after that, it was a good season. I played 13 games and had only 4 goals scored against me as a back pocket, playing up on that half-back flank when I could run and carry. But anyway, that's another story. Did you play footy for a while?
So footy was the first sport I picked up as a kid. So I played footy from I did the whole Auskick program thing. So I played from like the age of 7 to about 14. And then moved to cricket for a little bit, did cricket for 4 years, and then up until recently played basketball and
Yeah,
coached.
hell yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Love
getting
that.
old now.
I think I'm only a tad older than yourself, but you definitely set to field in your 30s, though.
Oh, yeah. I also just wanted to spend more time in the gym. I can't be arsed running around on a basketball court anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like pound for pound at gym, I'm pretty good. That's why you're probably talking about that testosterone.
Definitely. Oh, I said to the guys that they haven't seen you in the gym. You're a big unit.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, if you've seen Josh Hunt, you probably get a better idea.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Oh, man. All right, what do we got? Everyone loving your phone data connection. 1931 for Theo. I actually think that's pretty good. I think that's par. Oh,
Yeah.
Here's a good question from Josh. Zorko or Dale, if you had to pick one to trade into?
Fuck. Actually going to go Zorko. He's always calling for it and doesn't seem to have a bad floor game, I suppose. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a almost 70k difference, or around about 70k difference between that. I do worry, is there a better way of using that? Because in regards to output, Dale can match at the moment with Zork, but Zorko also has probably a better fixture.
True. Yeah, very true.
That's a tough one. I dare say go Dale just because he's younger. If we're
And
going to
he's
have to put it on
cheaper.
anything, he's cheaper, he's younger. You can probably use that 70k elsewhere. Like that's literally moving a mid-pricer up to like a Rosie, for example, if you've got like a day, or if you've got, Finn Callahan, which eventually maxes out at cat. Like there's a few different ways you can use 70k. So
You could buy a house for that money.
Yeah, that's a deposit.
I don't even know what comments we're up to. I'm now finally in the chat. Do you want me to put them on screen as we're going through? Because I've no idea where we are.
Yeah, just go. Do what you like. Go for it.
Were we up to around here when Skiz did this to me as my internet was cooking?
Yeah, I think so. But I got to a few questions. So where were we up to? Spoke about Sheezel Zorko. Bill Boys, who wins in a street fight between Big X and Nank the Tank? I actually think Nank the Tank puts him down.
I think Nank the Tank too. Yeah. Definitely.
Max asking 1876. He was sitting at 9k, so he's overall ranked. Does make him go up or down? I'm probably going to say down.
Yeah, definitely down.
Definitely down. Yeah. I think it's under par.
All right, I think I know where we're up to. If I've missed any comments in there, I do apologise because, as per usual, TPG can go fuck itself, and I lost my stream there. So, thank God you were on there, or else I would have completely cracked it. And so, it's always nice when you can have a host that's not a bot.
It's all right. I saved the stream again, like we did this last season.
Which we did. The perfect time to have you on.
I know. It's just what I do.
Literally. Or you're outside my electricity box right now and you've cut the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. CWT says, evening, lads. He's a West Coast man, of course, so he would have been impressed with how they were tracking.
But he himself is tracking very, very well.
Yeah.
From a Supercoach perspective. Absolutely killing it this season so far.
And lucky he got rid of Pete Wing as well, I remember, in that chat.
Mm-hmm.
Another Josh says, if you had the option, this is what we were spoken about before, right? Okay. And Causa, Anderson's a pod. Did you think about having Anderson? I thought about him in flex just due to his home game. You know, and how willing he scored over the period.
Yeah, Anderson's very much a flex player just because you want to get the spike scores, but definitely considered him. It's just that buy and whatever they're going to do with that Suns v Essendon game that is concerning. But I mean, yeah, don't know. I looked at it for a hot minute and then didn't.
Actually, geez, this is correct. I literally don't charge anything. Like sometimes I go to work with like 20% battery, and I'm like, oh what have I done? I don't know why. Good, Luca, mate. How are you? What's your funniest nickname you had in sport?
In sport, that's a great question. Probably Goldilocks.
Oh, God. You know what I used to get called in sports because I was so competitive, and we'd always have captains. There's a guy named Brendan that always used to be captain. I was always the opposition captain because we would never be on the same teams.
Mm.
And I was always captain of the dark side, so I was always nicknamed something like Darth Vader or something like that because I was always the one that was like super aggressive, in your face, like tried to get the win and just be that obnoxious, annoying player that can play most sports. But Brendan, on the other hand, was so humble, and we never really got to play on the same team, so it was really disappointing because if we did, there's no way the other team would have won. I used to love those PE days, you know, that sort of.
Yeah.
And you got to pick your team as well when you're captain, so it was so good just cherry picking who you wanted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good old high school sport there.
There was a guy that pissed me off once in footy. This is a funny one. And I was in the goal square, basically, running, and I could have stepped around him, but I decided to handball the ball to him in the goal square just so I could surely put him on his ass, tackle him, pick up the ball and kick a goal. My PE teacher just looked at me and was like, why the hell did you do that? And I said, I just wanted to sit James on his ass. You really annoyed me, so I thought that would be the funniest thing to do. And yeah, picked it back up and kicked a goal, and yeah, got to tackle James for free. Yeah. Anyway.
There you go.
Oh no, I don't want to spoil his score, but I already have now. Sorry, Shorty, if you're watching.
Yeah, it didn't look too good. Saw that in the comments. It's going to be a fun time watching that content.
You know what? I don't know if we'll get a raging Shorty like we get some other raging people. I tried to get Hippo on the stream, but he replied to me once, but hasn't seen the second message. So yeah, that could have been a lot of testosterone. Hey,
could have broke his phone. Yeah, pure frustration.
Him and I both. We almost kicked in an internet in that box, I reckon. I should maybe call myself Supercoach Bulldog instead, but it's too late now.
Hey, never too late for a rebrand.
I could rebrand. Maybe at 1K I can rebrand, but for now.
I mean, if I end up finishing in the top 1,000 this year, I'm probably gonna have to change my name to Semi-Pro Coach or some shit. And just have the headband. I'll just do the Geelong thing and just have a headband in.
Why not? Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah. Jack says, oh no, poor Shorty. Max, no, Shorty, oh my God, he's going to go crazy. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he streams like on Wednesday night. I think he does a stream as well. So that'll be a good one. I agree, Bills boys. Definitely the most important position. She says, I think Shorty was in my league win this week. Wait, it was his only league win? Yeah. Wow. That's not good for Cheese. I feel for you. Is there any rookies you can't afford to grab in because you're already pretty stacked as it is, like that you think you're just gonna have to miss?
Not really.
Because
I'll
I've
grab
got a
Henderson
huge
this week,
yeah.
and then I'll grab Bice off his bye. About
Because
it.
I've stitched myself up. I've gone Bice early, of course, so I can only get one of Ashcroft or Nod, and I think I'm going to go Nod regardless of who comes back into Freo.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have to fade one of the highest owned rookies who's probably going to average 80 at some point.
Mm. There you go.
Max says Cheese Essendon may come bottom 4 if we don't beat Port. What do you think of Essendon? Did you watch that game?
Oh, they're in shambles.
Yeah.
Absolute shambles. Again, I don't understand the tog for Sardis when he's clearly getting you all the clearances. Their backline looks lazy. Yeah. I just don't know. They got to do something. I don't know what it is, but they got to do something.
Uncle Ack is asking Cheese what he score. And then Jonas says Brad Pocket or Brad the Milkman. I'm not doing milk anymore, Jonas. So I'm actually a supervisor of like a confectionery place, and yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. So maybe Willy Wonka sort of thing,
Possibly.
potentially. Luca's got a question. Thoughts on Day to Kywell? He likes the new midfield role. I think he's always had a midfield role though, hasn't he?
Not always. It was mainly what we saw in the latter half of last year.
So like, was that a 60-40 split midfield way, and now it's sort of an 80-20? Maybe I have to look at the CBAs on DFS tonight, and I'll get back to Luca on that one.
Yeah. I think that sounds good.
That's an interesting one. But like we were saying the other night, there's other options around the mark that are probably better than him. If you got the money, I really like Liver.
Yeah, he's not bad. Not a bad shout. If you haven't got Richards, definitely shout.
Yeah, 100%. I've always liked Liver's ceiling, and I know he's one hit from retirement in terms of concussion, but he's just a beast. Like, I wonder what they do with Bont and Traw in the meanwhile. It means it's definitely going to push Sanders to forward line for the whole entire year until someone retires, basically.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I hate the fucking waiting for lockout. Feels like it goes forever.
What time? I think it was around 10 and it lifted last time.
Yeah, it was around 10:30, I think.
Yeah. Max says, that's so true. Zorko just wants the ball. And it's like he wants the ball. I'm doing it, Harry to Zorko. There you go. I think
That's not
Zorko
true.
is... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, Zorko's just a pig. That's why he wants the ball. Always screams for it.
It's funny though with Zorko, he wants it differently to Dale. Dale wants to sort of run and carry, whereas Zorko wants to take the ball, switch, do a 45-meter, just drop punt, whereas Dale wants to just long bomb and hope that Norton marks it. So there's a little bit more marking, it feels like, with Zorko because he calls for it a lot, and a lot of handball receives then to kick a goal, sort of very Houston-like, I guess, without the intercepting. So it's a different kind of pig. Like Dale, Houston, and Zorko all score so well, but in their different ways.
Very true. Very, very true.
And how good was it? Was it Jai Clark from Freo? He didn't get tagged today.
Jordan Clark.
Jordan Clark. Yeah, I thought I'd butchered that. I was wondering why I was thinking about Jai. Yeah.
So put things in perspective. So for the first two games, Zorko had round one he had 75% DE, and then today he had 89% DE. So let's just keep that in mind. I'll have a look at Dale, and we'll pretty much back up what we just kind of led on. Okay. Interesting. Dale went at 90% DE in both round 1 and this week.
Yeah, so that's a hard bar to maintain too.
Mm. Very, very hard.
So yeah, that's how I look at it. Is like, yeah, and at least the dogs are going to be more. Lions are going to be more consistent. You'd think than dogs from here on out. So they might get the more point share around when you win a game. There's normally it tends to be more points towards the winning side than the losing side. Not by a lot, but if you take that into consideration too, there's probably a little bit more points for players like Zorko, Dunks, and Neil, and nobody else is really relevant. I don't think, apart from maybe Will Ashcroft.
Yeah, I agree.
Uncle Acker says I'm going data ends. I actually like that shout. I really like that.
That is definitely a good shout.
You got to be different to win Supercoach.
Exactly.
He's just throwing out his score. I think Foss is a must, only if you don't have Ashcroft, Lindsay, or Nod. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think he's a must trade. I mean, you paid almost pretty much 200K for someone who's what was his score today?
40-something, 43?
Like that's back-to-back 40s, essentially. Where is he? 42. Yeah, so that's I think he got like a 41 last week, and now he's got a 42. Like, yeah, the role is potentially there, kind of, not really. It's just, yeah, it's not happening for him. So get him down like a Henderson or a Lindsay if you didn't go early on him, and just put it to bed. Bank the cash, use it elsewhere.
The annoying thing too is Foss looked way better than his score, way better than a 40. And the week before, I thought the same thing.
I think he does look good. I just don't think he gets the ball as much as we need him to. Like, I think there was a lot of preseason reports that he's not an accumulator of the ball. But, when he does get the ball, he's good with it. He just doesn't see a lot of it.
Yeah, that's correct. He's like more of an impact player.
Exactly.
Hard to tell these ones. I'm not really analytic when it comes to this. I have no idea. I guess we'll find out in half an hour, Luca, is probably the easier answer for us both sitting here.
Definitely. Could all stipulate.
Yeah. Yaron says, looks like I've moved 650 spots. I know there is an app that does tell you, but I'm not sure how accurate it is when you type in your team name. Do you remember what that is? Have you heard that?
No. Haven't seen the app.
I might ask the guys in our DMs and find out. I'm pretty sure there is one. It says walkout is not over, but it shows in S Godfather group. Okay, all right, I'll have a look at that then later.
Yeah, if you have if you're a part of an open league, they usually have like an overall ladder when comparing. Like, that's usually how it works. Like, but again, it gives you a score and it gives you a rank, but I'd rather see all the details about it, so I know exactly where I'm sitting.
It's like guessing your pay slip, but just waiting for it to come into your account.
Pretty much.
Sometimes you read the gross and you realize that's not what it is. Yeah, Max is laughing at me for mispronouncing everything, such as the following. So, yeah, I'm definitely no good at English. Like, if I had to teach someone English, or I went overseas to teach English, I'd get fired.
Yeah, I don't think you'd even get overseas, mate. I wouldn't let you in.
Yeah, I got too many guns on board.
Oh. Jesus.
I'll see myself out.
Anything less.
I'll enter my own stream, exit my own stream.
Yeah, just give it back to me.
You can run my channel from me from now on.
Yeah, sounds good. No, we'll just give it to Cheese. We've been telling him to get on to do it. We'll just give him your channel.
Honestly, I might have to, once I get my internet fixed, I'd love like one of the people in the comments to actually get on for half an hour and just talk Supercoach, because these guys are very knowledgeable too, and I'm sure they'd love a good half an hour just to talk Supercoach with the rest of the people in the chats as well. Because it does take a lot to set up a channel, and people probably aren't interested in that. But to get them on as a guest, I'm sure that some people would love that. I feel
for sure.
What has he got here? Yaron says What is that? 5,188?
Yeah, that's a good rank. Did well.
Yeah, 100%. John, hello, John. I've never seen John before. He goes 1980 this week, so hopefully up from 20K rank. You'd think so. Yeah.
You'd probably see a small bump.
Yeah. And it would be so tight for the first 6 weeks that everyone's going to worry about it. But after the buys, as long as you've got a good team coming out of the buys, you'll be fine. Has it updated? Because they're saying they're ranked now.
They probably jumped into a league.
Have a look.
And had a look.
How did Freo lose that? Yeah, I know. I kept checking the scores just after the game, and I couldn't believe it.
Whoever was on the siren for the final term definitely put bets on for Sydney to win.
Yeah, Freo always kind of do this. They've got so much hype, and then they just start to go downhill, and you're like, okay, this is why I didn't have high expectations in the first place.
Exactly.
Max says, if I drop from 9 to 15, I'll make. Nah, don't quit, Max. It's way too early to quit. It's a marathon.
It's not even bad. Like if this early, you'd only quit if you're in like the bottom 50%. Like if you're within 40K in round 2, it's so tight you could probably make some good leanway back.
Well, I remember I kept thinking it was last year, but it was actually 2023 season. I've been saying on a few pods before. I started off around 100,000 rank and climbed my way back to 5,000. So you can do it. You just got to trade well. That's all you got to do is trade well. If you're a good trader, you're fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Jack says Hippo was rating his review last night after bringing in Stewart.
Yeah,
he's got out the silver hair as well. I can't remember if that's like reminds me of like Q or someone like that. You know when there's retired soccer players or like so close to 40 that they start doing the silver fox thing? It actually suits him though. But yeah, he's the man of the hair product, that man. Raging Hippo. And he hates Stewart. He's going to call him a fraud and everything now, so I'm really looking forward to his review.
Can't wait.
Crazy Fit, did you see Shorty's laptop? Yeah, I did. That was funny. Have you checked that out yet? I'll send you a link if you haven't.
I have seen it, yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it. It was quite funny.
Let me show you. CH's Bulldog Brad. Yeah, don't get me started. Jay says, Crazy got 2058 last week with a rank, what was he said, and 2051 this week, even with Gone.
Solid, yeah. Yeah,
very solid. Back-to-back good scores. Yeah. I think 2000's really good for a bias. I've always said that. Jack says, Crazy, that was class. He did it when Flynn was named out.
Might be a rebrand.
HVW Kings, the second lockout lifts, that fraud pyramid is gone. Yeah, 100%. He would be frauded out your bloody side, wouldn't he, if you still got him?
Yeah, who would have held on to Perryman?
Yeah, unlike some.
This guy.
Yeah, who would have known that Bice was the guy to win you 300K and score an extra 39?
Stupid.
It doesn't make sense sometimes.
Like
sometimes
you doesn't.
Yeah. There's no logical about it either.
Yeah. Not great.
Stupid. I like this one. What do you think of this one? Are you a big Dragon Ball Z fan? I've never asked you.
I am. I'm a massive anime fan.
Makes sense. Me too.
I know. I could tell by the tats.
Yeah, like literally my arms and legs are purely Dragon Ball Z. I've even got Sailor Moon and stuff like that, man. Just random shit.
Oh, that's cute. Sailor Moon.
It's on me thigh. It's too high to show on.
Of course, it's a high thigh tat as well.
It's for the OF.
Oh God. Jeez, was that your idea?
Oh Jesus! I don't actually have OF, but if I keep saying it, people are actually gonna think I'm serious.
He does. That's 2 streams we've mentioned it. It's real.
Nah, they wouldn't be paying me enough to do that. The missus is laughing at me. Jesus, please don't mention Essen I've already been crying uncontrollably over Supercoach. I can't be thinking about them too. It's nothing worse when your team shits to bed and your Supercoach team shits to bed. I actually tune out to Supercoach when both happens a little bit. I just hide under a rock like SpongeBob.
Yeah, look, since Patters went down and Stewie went out, I haven't been too excited to watch today's games. Like I just did, as I hit the gym up, did the lawns,
Yep.
did housework, kind of did everything in my power to not watch football. I just kind of wait for lockout.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I didn't. I
Me too.
actually didn't mean SpongeBob. I meant Patrick Star. I even butchered that. He's not the one that goes under the bloody rock. It's Patrick. That's my spirit
No,
animal.
Patrick.
Max says Darcy Parish is coming back. This is my thoughts on Parish. What's a bet within 2 or 3 weeks of him coming back, he misses another 6 to 8 with his back or some shit. He is so unreliable. He's like Dion Prestia.
Well, I mean, this happened last season as well with Parish. So it's not. Yeah. I don't know. I think he makes way. I think he goes play. I think Sars will go play VFL, and absolutely, I think it will be one of those situations where they're too good for VFL, but they're not quite, for whatever reason, in Brad's eyes, not quite ready. So I don't know. It's Sardis is the least of my problems at the moment.
Literally, like he's going to make you money next week anyway, and yeah, you can just never trust the Brad in the coaching box.
He'll make you money. You can. If you've still got other fires to put out, you can loop him in your midfield to grab a better rookie score. There's a few things you can do with him.
100%. Corey says, I was having the best time at the North game today, was loving the fourth quarter. I've seen how much the momentum just kept going too for them. It was like the opposite to Eagles. Like the Eagles, I said to Cheese at like quarter or half time, I'm like, watch Brisbane come back and win by 35. I never felt that way with the North and Melbourne game. I thought, nah, Melbourne actually scared here. They're panicking. Their premium players are shitting themselves for no reason. And they just kept the momentum going, and North looked great today.
Yeah, look, it was quite funny because of the contrast, because you had the forward line in North Melbourne going off with like Larkey going back to back. And then on the opposite end, you had Cobbin going back to back with massive intercept marks.
Yeah.
I could not catch a break.
He always looks like he's injured too. Like he can never catch a break. He always looks like he's about to break down and cry from an intercept mark. It's like, mate, I get your shoulders are taped together, but you're 6'7". Just take the hit and just like, it's okay. You get paid big money to do this. You're a good footballer. Stop crying.
Yeah. Okay, but like, what if he just looks like that? What if he's actually fit as hell and that's just what he looks like?
It'd be very confusing. It still confuses me now. He's a good player though.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably stressful playing for a side like North Melbourne. It would make you age pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I just heard that there was a player, I can't remember which player it was, Corey will probably remind us in the comments, that played something like 110 games for 12 wins in North. I was baffled.
I was there. I heard that.
Like that, what the hell?
Who was that? Stevenson.
Is that who it was?
Yep, it was Stevenson. It was the sub.
Yeah, right.
I'm fairly sure Stevenson was the sub. But yeah, that comment was made at Stevenson. Or was it Scott? No, it was Scott.
Oh, Scott. Yeah. Yeah, it might have been him. Yeah.
He's always
literally. Michael says 3 teams were helped over the line this weekend. Yeah. Especially that Collingwood game.
Yeah.
Collingwood didn't deserve that.
Hopefully it's just a better week next week all around for AFL games. Like, I think the thing that at least I noticed with Supercoach, the more games that are blown out, the less scaling you get to assist, and the less points there are to divvy up, because they'll probably get scaled down if it's a blow up, most likely. Or if it's a close game, like your player, Sarong being a perfect example of tonight, somehow jumped from like 70 something to 90 with a spoil and a mark or some shit. It was Both
He
games, they just
he got kissed for important moments of the game. So when the game doesn't got much points left, and then you do something really critical at the last couple of minutes, and it's a close game, like he did with that spoil in the back line, didn't give away the free, and then he kept continuing to just drive the ball down. They just reward you points for like breathing at that point, and you're like, oh, and you take those wins too. Like we can sit here and complain about some of them, but half the time they'll be on your side anyway. But still, 100 games from a player that you paid 600K for has taught me this season that, again, we probably shouldn't have paid for those 600K guys. We've already seen it in Gawn and Sheasel. I've only had 2 players over 600K, but you may as well, as some have alluded before, just go for those 500K players that you know can output the same, but you can spread that money around your side and not be stuck in this position of, all right, let's just get these 600K players and expect them to average 126 without going under their break even's almost impossible unless you're Bontempelli.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like it's gonna work for you some weeks, and it's gonna work against you some weeks, especially if you play leagues. You know, like your player or your point of difference player against who you're playing against. They might get scaled down, scaled up. That's how it works sometimes.
Yeah. Corey says, I went
Supercoach.
Yeah, that's rough. Power Pepper too, though. Many people really thought he was going to pull out 83 and kick 3 goals too, because I didn't see that coming.
I mean, look, I thought if there's a game where he's going to reward the hold, it has to be against Richmond. And I had a few people push me to hold on to him, just hold the faith. And it also kind of pushed me into my mentality of, I really just kind of want to see 2 games before I make any major trades. Just be a little bit smarter. Obviously, if they get dropped or there's like a massive, you can't even really say role change, because more likely there's reasons for a role change. Like the Perryman pick, for example, is a perfect example of that, because the role in preseason looked great. Then it changed from one game to a tagger, and then it changed to a backman in the pocket to replace McGuinness. Like that probably wasn't in the plans for that game, but it's just what happened. And we kind of have no choice but to train them out now.
Yeah, and you're better off doing it round 1, round 2, and then holding for 4 weeks, and then just seeing what happens, because you don't want to burn all your trades before it's upgrade season and then realise you can't get the best of the best, and then you've got to go value route because you've burnt so many trades. So it is hard.
I'm still happy with the trades I made this week of just getting in Lindsay and Levi. Yeah, it means I saved a boost, which I'm definitely going to be using this week. The only fires I probably really need to put out are Stewie and Pez. I don't have any rookie targets outside of getting Foss down to a Henderson just to get cash to make some solid moves, and that's about it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, at least you know what you're doing with it then. So Cheese has also said about Foss, looks good, but just draft profile said not accumulated. So which translates to his scoring as well. So, yeah, I feel that, because I think he's pretty highly owned too. And then Michael says about Weiss, looked really good. Sorry, just joined if this has been covered. Yeah, he looked amazing. So that was a hot topic last night when I was going early on him, and I did recommend if anyone needed to go there. I thought it was going to get stitched up, because who's that Geelong player that went 88 last night? And I was like, oh, man, okay, maybe
That was the other O'Sullivan, the one that we should have actually got in. Connor O'Sullivan. But again, because we spoke about this on my stream last night, the concern around Connor O'Sullivan is he's literally just a college Asney replacement, and it's been communicated heavily before round 1 in multiple press conferences. Scott, again, he's a Scot, so you can't trace too much. But look, for if you're looking for potential as replacement to get cash because you don't want to bring in Bice, who's now on the buy, sure. You're going to get a price rise. He's got a 45 in the system and now an 84 or something rather. So he's fine. Stewie going out. What does that mean for movements with SDK? Does he go more into back? Do they bring Colo back earlier and keep Sully in the team? There's a lot of things. So I would honestly wait till team sheets to finalize that sort of trade.
Yeah, 100%. Supercoach God is in the house. He says, traded in Stewart is my season over? Well, clearly not, because you can literally turn water into wine and do anything with your side at the moment. So you'll be fine, mate. I've seen your videos before and whatnot. I think you'll have a strategy out of it. Probably going to be similar to what you're looking at, I feel, with this Stewart. It could be a blessing in disguise. So it could give you an avenue to a Dale anyway, or a pod that you've missed out on that you want to start, that you're really hot on now. And you've got 2 games of data, so you can really go anywhere with this. And it's better to do it now that he gets a 9 in best 18 rather than round 3 when he loses money. And then it's whatever. So you actually get gifted a little bit.
A trade idea I just had, because Dale's probably not going to be the pod that we want him to be now because he's had 2 really good back-to-back games. I could get Stewart down to a Amon, trade prior to Bice on the buy switch to have Bice cover Amon on the buy, and then I can hold him.
You could do that, yeah.
That's not horrible.
No,
anyway, that's trade ideas, guys. Don't take any. If you do that and it blows up in your face, I didn't say do it.
That's right. Don't forget to everyone in the chat to give us a like and sub to both of our channels too. At the end of the video, I'll tag your channel name in there as well, Rookie AFL Coach. And yeah, we did a stream last night, and we're doing back-to-back segments again tonight, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm more than happy.
It's good, mate. Just a gift.
Yeah. And you took over my channel for the second time after my internet dropped out for another millionth time over here.
It's just how it is, mate. I'm just everywhere. Can't stop me.
Literally. Imagine if you didn't let me back into the studio.
I don't even think I could stop you from going back in the studio. Imagine if I could. Oh, that'd be funny as hell. Hold you at ransom.
Literally. Like, I've got to pay a certain amount in your account before I can get my channel back.
Legit. So give me some trade tips before you can get back into the stream.
Literally. Actually, there's something we didn't cover off the Hewitt. Elijah Hewitt from that West Coast game. He got subbed off. That wasn't an injury though. That was managing him, wasn't
it? Did he get subbed off? Are we talking last week or this week?
I thought they put him behind the bench because he left with a 58 from the West Coast. So am I going nuts?
That was an unsub score. So it was BJ Williams that got subbed off, which then forced Archer Reed into the ruck, which is why he cramped up early. Hewitt is an interesting one. He's gone like back to back 52 and 58 now. So it's not looking great, but it's that DPP that's pretty valuable because it allows us to do swings and whatnot as needed. So
I could have sworn he was on 58 at 3/4 time. That's why I was like, what the hell? And then it didn't move from 3/4 time to 4th quarter.
What was his time on ground? Let's have a look.
Because that was weird for me. I'd go Henderson out of this, Bills boy, while he's looking this up. I'd definitely go Henderson. He's cheaper and, just break even's probably going to be more negative as well, potentially, being at a lower price. Michael, sorry, go on.
Yeah, Hewitt had 70% time on ground.
Yeah, okay. We didn't do much in the last then. How many disposals in the last quarter?
Let's see if we get more information. Where the hell do you break it up by a quarter? Is that DFS, fan footy? Which one?
No, in AFL app, you can go break it down by 1 to 4 quarters and then go advanced, and it'll give you TOG.
Where are we?
Michael got a 1944. That's pretty consistent, mate. So you would have done well there. Yes, Jay, he did. He got a 50 in the last.
Where the hell can you break it down by quarters?
I think it's in the advanced settings in the AFL. I can't share my phone screen.
No, I'm looking at it. I was looking at the match.
I don't know how to explain it. She says, yeah, I'll make a channel for Supercoach and show people what not to do. Yeah, true. I feel that some weeks. I'm like, I've had some really bad weeks sometimes, and I'm like, oh, this is not the way you really want to front up to your channel, but you just got to do it because that's what you've made it for. You make mistakes, that's how you learn.
Yeah, I can't see where to find those advanced details, but Bill's boy, Yaron, is very correct. He did sweet F all in the last quarter.
Yeah, right. Corey says, Nod could have had the match winner too, but gave away free. Did you see that play? Yeah.
Rough one.
Yeah. It'd break you as a young player too, because you're trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like, he did enough to make a name for himself. It's just one of those unfortunate, in really impactful times where it just happened.
Yeah, 100%. Jonas said he literally threw the game away, and then Michael says Hippo rages most weeks. That's why you got to love the Hippo. There's always going to be someone different at it. I'll rage for a period of time, but I can't rage for too long, or else I'll probably have a heart attack or a hernia.
Both.
Josh, I have Patton in my forward line right now. Would you rather trade Foss or Patton? I think he means Foss and Patton to Lindsay. I know he's saying one or the other. Who would you go in this situation? Probably Patton because he's in the VFL, but he had a good VFL match, I believe. But
Foss is going to play throughout, so he might have a spike score, but I would still trade Foss. That's like 49, 48K in your bank that you can use, and that can make a bit of a difference if you're looking to upgrade.
Because I'm trading this week, just to give the viewers a bit of an idea. I don't know if I use a boost. I said this last week and then I used one anyway, but I'm going to go Foss and Dolan, which is the stupidest F8 rookie pick I've ever done for a pod, into Henderson and Nod. And then hopefully hold, because I don't want to use another boost, but 5 trades in 2 weeks isn't great, but I'd rather fix it at the start and not have to play catch up, because I played catch up last year and the year before as well by holding on too much and waiting to see the future. And then I realised by people playing aggressive, by the time you get to around 18, 19, sometimes you can't catch up because you've left too many points behind early. So, yeah, sometimes you just got to go for broke, but do it smart.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been checking any scores. Have you, mate?
I think the highest I've seen around on Twitter is 2144.
Wow, it's probably a weekly winner.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
18.
Jeez. We need to buy this, man. I don't
Open
know.
up a welfare center this week just for super coaches because I need it.
One big cigar for cheese on the cards.
Yeah, that, and heads up for those that are checking in that also view my content as well. That's pretty much the title of my team review is Supercoach Welfare Center.
Oh, I feel that. That's what Rage Trade Nights is for. It's just putting your players out there on the chopping block, blowing some steam from the Supercoach week you've had, and just full sending it before you go to bed and hit a 6 a.m. alarm.
Yeah, that's it.
Bill, is VC McRae cherry good next week? 100%, mate. What do you think of that?
I think everyone's just going to VC McRae. I mean, he's got Dons this week, I think. 100% a VC option.
It shows you how...
Saturday.
I think he does. Yeah, McRae does play on Saturday, but it shows you how stupid Bevo is, doesn't it?
We got round 3. Sorry. Sorry, no. Saints have fucking Richmond. 100% a VC. Straight captain him.
If he double tons, I will lose my shit.
Will they send McIntosh to him though?
McIntosh couldn't even keep up. No way.
Yeah. But I don't know. They headband. Plus 10 speed.
He'll probably give away 5 high free kicks. He can keep up speed-wise, but he won't be able to read Jack's hands that quick. No way. I don't know. I'm not going to get into too much of a McIntosh rant, but I hope they drop him and bring in just some of the younger guys. Like Sonzi had a really good game on the weekend, and so did our draft pick from last year. I've gone blank on. We're barely giving him a chance, but give him all the guys from last year's, into the side to debut, but not the guy I'm thinking of. I've lost his name. I'll come back. Someone in Richmond comments, tell me who was the other best on ground. McAuliffe. McAuliffe is the one I've lost in my head. We're not playing him, and I have no idea why the fuck we bought Taranto and Hopper. Thanks, Timmer, because they're useless as anything. Taranto can't hit a target, and Hopper is injury prone and just shit out, so they should just piss off because we can use Smiley in there. Excuse the language, but we can use Smiley once he comes back from his hammy, and then we can just build the youth around the midfield. Stop playing these Tarantos and Hopper types that just give you no territory, and when they do, they just kick it to the opposition. So anyway, McRae definitely VC. He's going to tear Richmond a new one, score 180, I reckon.
Oh, I think if he doesn't score at least what he scored this week, I'd be severely shocked. But this week will show you that we've seen weirder things.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Now you're going to make me reconsider.
Richmond could pull what they did against Carlton somehow.
It is St Kilda at the end of the day. And they only beat a side in Geelong, which Geelong are just bottom four anyway. So what do you do?
Man, I'm already stressing about my rank because I have a feeling I've gone down probably, if from what I've seen around the park, I've probably jumped between 15 to 2, maybe around the 20k mark. I've probably jumped down to the 20k, which if I have, that's fine. That's I'm happy with that because that could have been a lot worse, and 20k is a lot easier to come back from than a 30, 40. So it's fine. It's still best of 18. I can make the right moves, but I'm taking a guess that I'm probably in the 20 to 25 ranking at the moment.
I reckon I'm going to be 2k when the lockout's done.
Love that. And that's the thing with like these early rounds is you can jump from, like, I was at 1,113 with round 1, and now I've probably jumped into the 20,000s. Brad was in what was your rank?
Around 5,000 or something like that.
5,000, and you'll probably jump into probably the top 1,500.
Potentially, yeah. It's
how it goes.
It's a game of inches, really, especially this early on.
Yeah, exactly. Like Scott Father says it quite well, is you're going to fluctuate very heavily in the first few rounds, but round 5, once everyone's done their major corrections, that's when it really counts.
100%. Yeah. Rosie's another good choice. I haven't seen the fixture. I haven't looked that week ahead. But Rosie's going to always be a good choice without Butters there, I think, in my opinion. He just covers the ground so well.
Definitely.
Even Jack justifies says the same thing. McRae going to go massive against your mob, and then he follows up with Rosie into McRae for me at this stage. Jonas, Melbourne are dumb as Carlton, just bombing the ball inside 50. Yeah, Richmond do that as well. Bailey Scott, that's been the hot flavour of this combo now that we're into the VC and C options. I'll look at my laptop at the same time and I'll tell you who I'm thinking, and hopefully by then we can see our rankings.
Fingers crossed. To get a head start on that, so the games that we have Port versus the Dons on Thursday. We've got Bulldogs and Carlton on Friday. And then we have Melbourne versus the Suns at 1:20 on Saturday. And then you have Saints versus Richmond at 4:15. So if you're looking for an early VC option, from Port, they might send Durham to Rosie. But I imagine Port are probably going to bring in maybe Finn Layson back to play forward. There was rumours of Radical Lear coming back. Not a great forward replacement. But that's probably so. I imagine they bring in someone so the horny man can stop fighting in the forward line and actually do something in the guts. I probably wouldn't look at any Bombers for any options. Merritt is unstable. The only reason why he scored very well this week was because he got 4 goals. So I dare say maybe nothing on Thursday until Team Sheets confirm if Hall Francis is back in there, because I don't think they've got anyone to kind of match him. Port are going to smash Dons. I think that's a pretty clear one. How do you think TDK is going to go against English?
I think, I don't know. I'm not going to TDK VC because it's bloody what do you call it, Voss at the moment. I think English will do around the grounds pretty well against him anyway. So looking at the fixture, I'm actually probably going to go. I'm going to go McRae into Zorko.
I was literally going to say the exact same thing.
Really?
Yep.
Do we just become best friends? Nighthawk?
Yeah. Dragon?
It's funny. We're in sync.
I think that's honestly probably the best. Gorn has wits. If Gorn puts up to 67 against Sherry, I'm scared for next week, but hopefully he feels the pressure of being the skipper and bounces back. So we'll see. You've probably got a Marshall versus Nank. So I don't think anyone has Sweet from Port. I'm just thinking of the ruck lineups. You got McInerney. If you got McInerney from Brisbane, that's a solid option against Geelong. You got Meek versus. Is Briggs back yet?
I think he comes back this week, but the best matchup is probably Cherry's probably going to body Rob.
You'd think so.
Easily.
Think so.
I know Rob's good hit out, but yeah.
A really like pod captaincy option. It's the last game of the week. Jackson against West Coast.
Or Jordan Clark.
Possibly Jordan Clark. Anyone from Freo is probably going to pop off. But if Jackson, I'd love to see the ruck breakdown. Jackson against like a Williams who can't run out a full game, or a Flynn.
Yeah,
juicy.
That would be juicy. Agreed. Funny that we're thinking the same way though for the VC. I just want to take a bite of the cherry and watch, because if you've got a huge advantage, if you're VCing McRae and everyone's captaining him, you sort of know what you can deal with. Like, if McRae's gone 110 and everyone's captaining him, you sort of know that I can get away with this now and go Zorko because I know he's going to get a 130 easily. Or if you think that. It's like, for me tonight with the games, I was like, it was either TDK, Rosie or Zorko, and I didn't know which combination I was going for. And I feel like TDK would have popped off if he didn't spend so much time on the bench. But I knew the safe captaincy was Rosie because I knew Port Adelaide would beat Richmond. So for me, I know McRae and St Kilda could beat Richmond, but it just depends what St Kilda turn up, and it depends what Richmond turn up too. Whereas the fallback for Zorko is that you just know he's going to call for the ball, especially if you watch the game today in the heat. His time on ground is insane. Like, he does not come to the bench. It's like he has himself in his own Supercoach side. The man just wants the ball, and he doesn't care about anybody else but how many posies he racks up. He's insane pick, and he's the only guy I can run against Dale against. If you're head-to-head and you've got both of them in your side, you're laughing for the next 8 weeks because you can't be able to afford both.
So we think about that in mind. Schedule long. I'm just looking at DFS for some data. So there we get.
While you're doing that, Jonas is talking about Chandler. He must have had him in his draft side that I tampered with, apparently. Bills, I'm copying. Says the Jack. Uncle Aka, how dumb are the Bulldogs moving on McRae? Yeah, it's just so dumb. And now they're doing the same to Sanders. Did you find the data?
So if I'm interpreting this correctly, Geelong over the last 10 Supercoach matches concede +7 and +6 to general defenders and designated kickers.
Holy shit.
So I think Zorko's definitely a go. And then we
Yep.
obviously know they can see +15 to rucks.
Yeah. So we're on track then. Our brains are aligned with that pick. We haven't even pre-discussed this either.
No, but it just shows that. I think DFS is massive for this. I know it's got like a season pack, but for what this bloke and this team puts out, it's like $10. It's literally the price of a coffee. You get Starbucks, and you get to make really good informed choices. So just a quick shout, not sponsored, but should be, but not.
Yeah. If it was sponsored by Starbucks, my missus would forever just, I don't know, she'd never look at Bailey Smith again. Michael says,
I think she still would, but that's all
right. She's laughing while she's chilling with the muffins. Melbourne have said still got the leftover muffins, just 2 left, you reckon? She's holding up a sign. Out of 9. That's a lot. That's a lot of muffins. Michael says Melbourne have said that Gawn is dealing with some. Yeah, I've heard that too, which is tough, honestly. Max, best at it again. Yeah, it is. I think for the next 2 weeks, is it round 3 and 4? Yeah. Bill says, Supercoach God, I remember you traded Harley Reid. Oh, like a Harley Reid video that he traded about. Yeah, right. I don't remember that one. Yeah?
I do. It was funny.
Harley Reid versus Horn Francis in a 1v1. Who do you got?
Horn Francis.
That's what I was thinking.
Harley Reid's a showboat. He ain't with it.
No, I think even McIntosh has probably got Reid covered.
Yeah, for sure.
Travis says, yes, Max Swans and the Pies have buys. What? Oh, sorry. Right. I just read things wrong sometimes. Cheese says BJ Williams got subbed off. Does that open the door for Flynn then, you reckon, with that cramping?
No, I don't think so, because BJ actually did decently as a ruckman. He just cramped up.
Because he
wasn't fit enough.
He was having McInerney's number in the first half.
That's what I mean. He actually did pretty well against McInerney. So I think they're just going to focus on maybe potentially doing a bit more balancing between Reid, just to get that tank more out of the tank from BJ Williams. But I definitely don't see Flynn coming back.
No, I can't see Flynn coming back. If you've got him at R2, just piss him off. You're going to have to use a boost if you don't see him named too. Like, it's going to be price rises, so you probably want to use that cash as well. Like, the cash is pretty handy considering. You know what my thought about this? I've been thinking about this. If I was a Flynn owner at R2, you know what I'm doing? I'm actually grabbing Jackson and then throwing him in my forward line once I have enough money to grab a Cherry or Gawn or someone like that when they've come down in price. And Jackson's just a placeholder. You know he's going to be around the top 8 to 10 mark. I know you're going to have to find 230k, but you can find that with some from like Pez or Short or something and go down to a Bice. You can find the cash easily to get a placeholder like a Jacko if you needed to.
Well, to my memory, CWT did that. He brought Jackson in as a forward option, just as break glass and emergency if Flynn got dropped. So I have a feeling he's flicked Jackson into the ruck at R2 with TDK, and then has probably bought in a rook.
Yeah, as smart trades.
Smart
Cheese, yeah, he really is. Cheese says Arch Reid was on 20 when that happened and finished with 9. I don't even have Arch Reid. I always knew he was a bit of a bad rookie, just being 203 centimeters. I thought, no way am I going there. Different to Boyd.
Yeah,
and then Bill's just asking if Cheese has him. Yeah, this is what I thought, Yaron. This is exactly what I thought. I actually, that's why I was like, did he get subbed? Then I realised BJ got subbed. And, yeah, he was on 58 3/4 time. I'm like, this guy is going to score a nice 90 and he's on my bench. But, yeah, he just did nothing. But mind you, Brisbane picked up in the last quarter too, so there's correlation in that. This is what we're all waiting for, isn't it, mate?
Mate, I can't tell you the amount of times I've hit refresh.
Oh, I'm sure someone comes to tell us straight away. She's next week 120 over under. What do you got here? Who are they playing again?
They have. What's going on with this? They got Melbourne. Oh, sorry, Melbourne. They had Melbourne today. Wrong fucking week. They got Adelaide.
Whoa.
So if we look at this, Adelaide, they don't really concede any points. What would you class Diesel as, role-wise?
I didn't watch enough of the game to honestly tell you, but I feel like they play him almost sometimes it feels like everywhere, like 30% back line, then you see him 30% midfield, then 30% up forward. I've actually got generally no read on him. I just know he plays well wherever he goes generally, but
Yeah.
I think the 81 is flattering considering he was on about 50 or 60 and then he just got a lot of late possessions calling for it and late clearances when they're already up. He sort of looked like a passenger in that side. So I'm actually concerned about him and Gawn. Not to say I'd trade them, but if you needed the cash to use them, there's in a world I can see it happening with myself, but I just don't think I need to at the moment.
Yeah, like if that's your buy you need to put out, you've done very, very well. But you brought in Sheasel for a reason. He gave you enough last week at a 106. Yeah, this week's tough, but is that his floor? If that's his floor, that's a pretty safe floor. I'd give it one more week. It's best 18. Yeah, like who you might trade to a Dale, sure. I mean, make a fair bit of cash in the bank, but like I need to see the rest of someone's team. Yeah.
That's the whole, and probably where we're going to that is if your team's balanced enough and you can do those luxuries early on and you think you can make that call and go against the pack, because he is owned by like 60-something% of the competition, but then we've seen it the other way. We've seen people, and this is not against Cheese and Abs, they got rid of Clary at a 130 and then Abs got rid of Chera at a 112 or 113. So if you make those moves, you sort of know that at some point it might hurt you. But if you've got a restructure and using that coin elsewhere, then there's justification to it. But at the same time, it's only 1 week of data. You sort of got to give it at least a month for these guys. And if you need to use the cash elsewhere to upgrade your side and make, let's say, a rookie off the field that you don't trust in F6, then that's probably more justifiable than just going, yeah, I want a sideways Sheasel to Dale, because then you've made nothing of it. Like in any given week, Sheasel can outscore Dale. There's no guarantee that he won't. So, yeah, you just got to be really careful when you're doing that stuff, or else you just trade yourself out of a team. By the end of the year, you've got to go value and you've stuffed your side because you're running, I don't know, so give me an example for M8, wines at M8 because you've just gone bargain hunting.
No, you got Tim Kelly.
Yeah, that's right. Like you just cook yourself with that.
Yeah. It's, well, when it comes to people like Abs, for example, that caliber type of player is someone that plans their whole season. Like they're thinking about round 12, round 13, round 14. They're thinking about, like, they've already got their trades like pretty much laid out as to the movements on if they're doing it just a one up down, if they're using a boost.
Literally.
The only thing that throws it if there's like freak injuries, like a Stewart or something like that, where they need to quickly pivot. Outside of that, though, they generally have a plan. I'd say most of us, and I'm included in this, have a general idea of what we want to do, but don't really have a final thing of are we boosting, we're not boosting until it's the week of, and we just have more of that data available.
Yeah, 100%. Like they're so well calculated, someone like himself doing that. But yeah, the everyday casual player doing that, it's just based off, oh my God, I didn't see the game. He scored me an 80. He's gone. There's a huge difference between that. And so that's why I don't look at the trade outs as a – when I look at the trade outs, I look at the top 1%. I don't look at really anything else as an overall. But I don't look at that top 1% until probably round 6 when it's actually probably the real top 1%. Because some of the few scores in the first couple of weeks could be flukes. So yeah, after 6 weeks, then I'm like, all right, let's look at the 1% of trading. Other than that, as an overall, they sort of pick players like my dad would, like Ryan, like Mansell and players like that. I just, yeah, my dad's got the funniest Supercoach side you'll ever see. If I can ever green screen his side onto my live one day, I'll do it because it's amazing. By round 1, you'll give him a set team. By round 24, he's playing Noah Bolter at D5.
Jesus. Oh, it's like one of the guys I work with. Like there's a few guys that love their footy and all that stuff, which is good, but they're not into Supercoach, and they're very much invested into my journey as a content creator. So they love hearing that I'm like almost at 400 subs and stuff. They're like, and they'll go watch it in the background just for like algorithm shit. Like they're absolute OGs. Anyway, I got one of them to actually make a Supercoach team and kind of did more of a cookie cutter thing for them just because it's their first year. I pretty much said, do whatever you want from this point forward. Just ask me if you got any questions. He even messaged me today. He was like, well, that was a week. I'm like, don't talk to me. Because he had Neil. He had Neil in his team. I gave him Neil, knowing that West Coast was going to pay for him.
That's funny. I remember I was at a party once.
Than me.
He beat you?
I reckon he probably did.
I was at a party once, and my friends decided to put up my Supercoach channel on the TV. I left the fucking room.
Nah, bro, you gotta go up there and start flexing and be like, yeah.
I had too many drinks to process what was going on, and then I heard myself in the background. And you know when you hear your own audio, and you're like, "Why am I seeing this at a party?" They watched about 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, "All right, anyway, can we turn the music back on? Because this is just awkward watching yourself on a 70-inch screen." Like at a party, you're like, all right, mates, you guys are stitching me up here. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about because you aren't as nerd as me right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Did we want to get into some more comments? I know we're falling behind.
We should do that. Hey, did you look good? What do you think of this young bloke playing?
Well, let me get up the stats because I need a refresher. Where was he?
Don't know what his Supercoach was like, but
62. Lachlan, let's have a look.
It's hard to know. Job security.
119k rookie in the forward line. One to look into.
Yeah. You're probably not going to trade into him at any point, just with job security of how good Brisbane is too.
Yeah, legit.
Puffer says, Brad, you're getting a lot more viewers lately. Must be the handsome haircut. No, my analytics say it's 100% men watching, mate, so it can't be that.
That doesn't mean they don't think that.
Well, yeah, that's also true. But he says people were planning on bouncing Roberts at Dubai. I remember seeing this too. I'm like, how crazy would that be? Like, people were complaining about a 96 last week, and I'm like, bro, 96 is great considering he butchered the last play of the game and cost them the game, basically. So, yeah, he's – and people think he's a stepping stone, but he's a genuine keeper, 100%. That was obvious in round 0.
Yeah, look, it's tough because I get the idea that you want to move him to a keeper, but like, he's already there.
Yeah.
Save a trade.
Literally. And Yaron's just said McIntosh in his first game, 120 Supercoach points as a backline rookie. The memories. Every time I think of Yaron, I think of Chris Yaron when Richmond brought Yaron from Carlton, and then he just barely played any games with us, and yeah, he got in some issues, and then a player that could have been. So every time I think of that, I think of the player we recruited. We've had so many recruits in like 10 years ago that just never worked out for Richmond. They'd always get these guys either in their 30s or injury prone. Like Ben Cousins coming in for Richmond was the most random thing I've ever seen. Do you remember that for like 2 seasons?
I do. 2 seasons, yep.
Amazing. Bills McIntosh for the Brownlow. Puffer says, where's Nathan Kruger tonight? So that's John O'Carroll he's talking about. You're not going to consider trading out the horny one, are you? No way. He's going to be too horny one day and score 160 and you'll hate it. Jonas says Melbourne could use a tag out. Imagine getting rid of Jordan and Ben. Yeah, I know, right? That is actually, I never really thought of that, right?
Who would they use though?
Yeah, I don't even know.
That's exactly my.
James
I can't imagine it.
James Jordan is a good tagger, but like tagging is annoying for our Supercoach. Like it just pisses you right off. Michael says, originally thinking this week is McRae into one of the Freo boys. Yeah, that's what we were sort of alluding with that last game against West Coast, weren't we?
Yeah.
What did you say your score was? I've generally forgotten.
1938.
Yeah, all right. And mine was 2015. Travis McRae into Sarong. What do you think after watching Sarong's performance?
I mean, people thought he was able to work off the tag and break it. Didn't happen. I implied it very early in preseason and like round 0 of my content that tags very much real. Yep. The number ones like Neil and Sarong are going to get attention at all times, and teams that don't typically tag now kind of have taggers that are at least going to try and give them some attention. So just keep that in mind.
100%. And again, don't forget to give us a like for this stream, going back-to-back nights. She says SDK role has to be done. Well, you're a Geelong man, so we've already alluded to this before on last night's stream as well. After the game, we'd probably bring in Stanley in and SDK potentially going back. That's your thoughts, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Arthur says, hearing rumours Stanley... Well, this is exactly it. Yeah. Lockie, when you say par, do you mean average? Oh, this is a hard one. Well, you just mean average for the competition.
Yeah.
It's too hard to do the 10K, 50K. Geez, I really hate the early buy rounds, but honestly, thank God it's best 18. It does help a lot of people. Like, I don't think it helped me much because, like, in comparison, I would have done better in the best 22 with all the carnage that's happened because people were saved the Stewart thing and stuff like that. So it doesn't help players like myself because it means I might only gain an extra 50 to 80 points as opposed to a whole 200 points. So it makes the competition for the first 4 rounds very, very close. Lockie then says, I'm ranked 3,300, scored at 1920. So on the same boat as you with this one, mate. So you might not be alone really in your 1900s. I think 1900 is not bad though. Max, guys, if I whip a defender to Jack McRae for my captain, does that defender have to be on field? So defender has to be a non-playing defender. He has to be on the field and he has to have the C on him if you've VC'd McRae. But he has to be not playing. And you've got to make sure he's not the sub either or else you're screwed.
So an example for this would be if you have, so next week, let's just say you have Roberts in the back line who's got a bye. You put him on field, chuck an emergency on one of your rooks. You captain Roberts with the VC on McRae, and that's how you would capture it because Roberts is on a bye and definitely not going to play.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what you do. That was a good example, actually. Max says, do we trade? Definitely not, I don't think. Not worth it. Unless you're going to do something to cash, it's not juicy. Like Horn Francis cash is not enough for you to do something spicy with. That's why I held on to Baz. As soon as I whipped Baz's 83 with Power Pepper, there was just no reason to piff off 300 and something K. Gordon's more justifiable because he's like, what is he, like 660, 670? Like you can do something with that.
Yeah. But who would you go down to though?
That's the biggest issue. And this is where I'm going to go spicy with it. If I was to do that, I'd grab Jackson, but the issue with grabbing Jackson means I would never have to grab another F6. So it means Petrarca, if you got DPP or Warner, I want to save a spot for them instead of Jackson for the whole entire season. So, yeah, exactly. Your point is What's the point?
That's what I mean, though. But like, if you're going from a Gorn, like, if let's, I need to get this up. I hate
Cherry's
going
only,
to coach knowing it hasn't locked out.
Cherry's only
Absolutely.
40k cheaper too.
Also, mate, you go cherry, it's probably not worth it. But if you go down to like a Nank, might be worth it because that's around about 60k. So you're getting closer to the mark. You wouldn't go down to a Meek. Like, who are you? If Briggs is back, are you gonna go to Briggs? Because like that's probably the only thing you'd do. But then you're knowing if you've got a TDK already there, they're not going to be your final R1 and R2. So you got to reserve trades to get them up to keepers. I would hold Gorn. I mean, look, next week he has. Next week, sorry, he has Wits at Suns. Then he's got Geelong. Like, he's gonna monster Geelong. Then round 5, where is he? Then he's got Essendon, which are quite restrictive. Then
Yeah,
then he's
true.
got Freo. So then he's got Jackson and potentially Reedy. Maybe Darcy if Darcy's back by round 6. Then he's got Richmond. So then he's got Nank. Like, he's got a decent run. And if it's the personal issues, you hope that it's going to be gone next week. And he's going to put the team on his shoulders and go, yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, 100%. You never
Jeremy's-
know Gorn too, because it could also be Gorn's last premium season as well. So there is reasons. Like, he is 33 years old, so it's
No, it's
whether or
my
not
cost
you
to
want to.
Stewart as well. It's last preseason. There was actually value. Like, I still am very confident I made the right pick getting Stewart in. Hindsight, you obviously go, oh, I should have chose this person, but we don't know.
Yeah.
It's all speculation. Like, does Stewart usually get a bit rough and do silly things? Yeah, probably. But he's almost royalty in Supercoach, and he was at a really good price. You couldn't expect a PCL like injury to come out from him just crawling from the bloody ball.
No, that's
But
right.
it is what it is.
You can't foresee bad luck. That's the issue. Like, that could have happened to anybody. Yeah, he's injury prone, but the price was right. The role was attractive. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, yeah, the pick was there, and sometimes like 50% luck, 50% skill. Supercoach is like, and sometimes it's more luck than skill. To be honest, like there's a lot of people that you go, how the hell did you get top 1,000? But they just did, and you just jump on that train and ride with it. And then the year after 50,000, and it's almost like you're somewhere in between of your seasons. Yeah, it's a tough game. I think I've been playing for about 8 years, and I never really took it seriously. And I was looking at my statistics over the 8 years. Even when I wasn't taking it seriously and just playing the players I liked, I was still finishing around 20k when I was just playing for fun, based on league matchups with my workmates.
Yeah.
But now that I take it seriously, now I'm like, all right. And you got a channel, you're like, all right, now I've got to be way more calculated.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I think like once you start getting into like the content creation side of things, and it is a very niche area to be in Supercoach, trying to play for fun, but also like trying to enjoy it, but also make content people want to watch.
That's right.
So it is tricky. Like, this is only my second year playing Supercoach ever, mind you. Last season, I made so many mistakes. It was ridiculous. And I had some good rankings during that season. Like, I got up to like 12k, and then I started the season pretty well, ended up in top 10k for a little bit, but then just made some horrible trades, bought plays at their max price, and before you knew it, I ran out of trades at all, leading into like the last 6 games, and had injuries, and it was shocking, absolutely shocking. I had like 2 donuts every round for like the last 5 rounds. Like, it was so bad. But you take that, and if you want to get good at it, like, this is what the content creators are here for. Like, this is kind of what we talk about. We give you not, hey, do this. And I recommend it, if you listen to us, if you listen to anyone else, don't take their recommendations as Bible. Like, use your own judgment, use your own sense of, hey, does that suit your team structure? Does that suit your risk tolerance in starting a player? Like, some people have a straight rule, they don't start players they don't have players over 30, or they don't start players that had interrupted preseason. There's lots of ways you can play a super coach, and honestly, like Jovan, the winner of last season, he got criticised heavily for how he was starting his team and playing his team, and he ended up taking it out and winning the 50K.
Yeah.
Like, just play your way. If you don't make content, a little bit of a blessing. Have fun with it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
just
right.
enjoy it.
But yeah, and the other thing I suppose too is like you never want to run with players that have never passed your eye test or that you've never considered. Like they never considered in the preseason really for me. And Jaden Short, everyone was like, yeah, this is the fan favorite because I'm making content too. I didn't want to hype up a player that I didn't believe in, and I'll never really do that. Not never really. I never do that. So if I don't believe on a train, I won't go along with that same train that's the flavour of the week. And for me, those two players stood out. But then on the other side, on the flip side, you get sucked into players where the role was there, and then all of a sudden, round two, the role isn't there, and that's just bad luck, like Perryman, for example. So sometimes you give advice and as best as your ability, but we've also got to take into account we can't see people's total teams. If we knew people's whole entire sides, there's a fat chance we wouldn't be recommending those trades in the first place because there could be something else we could be doing with their sides. But I've never really had in the comments, oh my God, you made a pick for me and I went with it and it's your fault. So everyone's always taken accountability, which is nice in this community. But they've got to know too, this is just based off our judgment. And there's some games I watch more than others too, and it makes it hard. And that's why I ask you as well in these lives is, hey, did you watch this game? Because I couldn't get a read on Hewitt. What did he do in the last quarter? What's his time on ground, etc. to know their total score.
Exactly. I think if you've got someone who didn't watch the game and is making recommendations, please take it with a grain of salt. Not everyone's going to own up to not watching the games because they want to seem knowledgeable. I'll happily put my hand up and be like today's games, I can't tell you all too much because I wasn't too checked in, except for the moments I was checked in, which I can tell you, Hewitt did nothing in the last quarter because I watched the last quarter. What did I see him do in the first half? Couldn't tell you. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I'm not going to make a recommendation on that sort of information when I haven't watched it. So just, trust your gut more than anything. Like if I actually trusted my gut from the start and didn't waver based on Baz news, anything like that, I probably wouldn't have started Perryman. I would have started Dunks. I would have started Nank. I would have saved the cash from Gorn. Like I'd probably have a better starting team if I followed my gut, but we're all subject to influence when we watch content and do that stuff, listen to mates, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Fading Short at the start and getting Stewart in first round played in my favor because he outscored Stewart. Stewart outscored Short. God damn it, it's getting late. But this week it didn't because Stewart scored 9, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Literally. Cheese, we'll get to these comments too, and we'll probably sign out soon because I know you've got to get up and whatnot. And I've got Arvo shifts. I'm okay, but he's going on about the 9 points he's not excited about, of course. That was for Archer Reed, I believe.
And Stewie also got 9.
True. Yeah. Theo, 1931, how did you go? I said I got a 2015 and you got a 1938, did you say?
Oh, good memory.
I remember this time. Pretty bad. He's talking about Perryman's roles done. So I think a lot of people are done with Harry.
Yeah.
Ooh, imagine if that actually does happen. What will you do if she's a stag?
There's layers to this question because I actually saw this question pop up and I've been thinking about it. So my suspicion is I'm not sure when Wardlaw's back. Let me see. I'm just going to try and get a quick guess. Where is he? 3 to 4 weeks. This was updated on the 19th. So he's not going to be. So with Wardlaw out, if Powell keeps up his form, they might actually go to him because Sheasel's been playing a Mr. Fix-It type of role at the moment.
Yep.
So I actually think Jordan. I mean, look, you got Rowbottom and Jordan. So the chances of Sheasel copping attention is probably very likely.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's essentially what they've done every week is they just go Rowbottom, Jordan, tick them. And it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's quite annoying because like you just know that no one's safe in that game to be C or C basically. even with the Bedford news as well. So I'll try not to go for anyone that's playing the Giants. It just makes it hard. Bill says, I'm averaging 100 freshers an hour. This is to load our round 2 ranks. And then says, add to Supercoach Genius. I agree. Pavlovich can't wait to get Stewart mid-season for 200k. It feels like that sort of thing, doesn't it?
We're back. Lockout has lifted.
Oh my God. All right. I'm going to get on to mine. Tell me what your ranking is first, and we'll go from there.
Well, okay. So, 2. For those that were checking their rank in leagues, you just see the round ranking. You don't see your overall. I want to, with that react, I'm actually very happy with mine. But give me yours. I want to see that reaction.
1,120, mate.
You fucking, I dropped back a fair bit, but you pretty much caught up to me, and now I've dropped back. What was your previous rank?
4,294. No, around that. Well, since I moved up, so it must have been around 4,000, 5,000 spots.
Nice. So, round rank, 23,270. Horrible round rank. Overall, still in the 1%. So I'm happy. My season rank is dropped down to 2,496.
Wow.
So I'm still in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your total score then? Because this is what we want the viewers to get an idea of. Mine's 4,233, and yours is
4,201. So 30-point difference, and there's about 1,300 ranking point difference.
That's ridiculous. Yeah,
that's 30 points. 30 points. That's how tight everything is.
Yeah, literally, and this is why best 18 doesn't work sometimes if you've got no luck. If you've had good luck for the week and everyone else has had bad luck. Like on any given best 22. Now this is not to a flex, but I could be like a top 400 at this stage. But because it's best 18, you get away with those scores, and it just makes the competition so much closer for the first 4 rounds. So really, you're just banking on to have a really strong start, and hopefully no one can catch you because you're just basing your side on luck now and just hoping that the big players you've faded get injured, and the ones you have that are your pods don't get injured. Because the minute your pod get injured, your sliding rank goes nuts because no one else has got him, so it's not affecting anybody else.
Exactly.
Ozjan says, what do we reckon Bowdale scores from here on out? I reckon I'm going to go on our limb here and say about 109 average.
Yeah, I'd probably give him probably a little bit more. I'd probably go like a 112.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to be realistic because there's a world where he can do 115.
Yeah, I think he's around the mark of 110, give or take.
Yeah, he's definitely unders. Crazy Frog says, "Hey gents," and he says, "Tempted to do Nank to Cherry." I think it's a slight waste of a trade, but I do see justification just the way Cherry is going to be R1. I even said at the start of the year, I think he'll be the highest scoring player for the season. That's why I took him in draft as my number 1 pick. So I don't know. Who do you think finishes season rank overall number 1? Like mine's been Cherry from round 0.
I think Cherry still gets there.
Wow. This is what makes me want to go from Gorn to a Cherry, is I'm knowing that I'm only getting Cherry if Pitnat's named and I've faded the boy that I love because I've got TDK.
Yeah.
So I've hurt myself by buying into this, oh, no, Briggs is going to score a 180, 200, which I generally thought was going to happen, and that stuffed my whole Cherry process. Cheese says he was hot on Marek. Were you hot on Marek as well until the second game?
I was hot on Marek in preseason, and then he just didn't get a run for whatever reason.
What has his scores been? While you're doing that, I'll reply to Crazy Frogs because it'd be interesting. I don't know if it's worth a look at because I thought he was in the 200Ks.
Yeah, he's priced around very similar to Garcia. He ended up pumping up a decent score, but whether that stays, I mean, we had Graham out as well, but he did take in some kick-ins from Govan, which was interesting.
That's a huge point, actually. So he took kick-ins. Do you know how many? Or am I asking too much here?
No. Let me see if I can get it. DFS hopefully is updated by now.
CWT says suspense is killing me. Well, now he'd probably know this now, but it's lifted, so we're good.
I don't know if he's still here. I don't want to ruin it for him, but he's. I'll give a quick surprise. This is not his rank, but he's within the top 10
overall. Holy
he has smashed it.
Wow. This is why I want some of the people in the chat, once I've got new internet, by the way, to jump on for half an hour and just talk Supercoach. If we had like a weekly winner that actually tuned into our lives, they 100% get free reign, and we can just talk to them for as long as they want.
So Marek had 5, McGovern had 5.
That's a shout, cheese.
And then Marek got 3. Baker got 0 this week, and DeWar had 0. But they switched. I think they moved DeWar forward.
How good was he too? He was an absolute gun.
So I think this kind of holds. I think DeWar playing forward holds because they did very, very well.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, Brad, been a pleasure, but I got to film my content before I go to bed.
All right, mate. No, that's no worries at all. I'm just going to film the rest of this on my phone for the meantime. But yeah, thanks for jumping in as always. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Anytime, mate. No worries at all.
All right, time to make some rage trades. I'll see you guys around the corner, around the shop.
No worries, mate. Thanks for coming. I'll finish off these comments and go for as long as I need to, I guess. But yeah, you take care and I'll speak to you soon, buddy.
Easy. Catch you, mate. Bye.
See you, mate. All right, as that's happening, Max, he's got in here. If I don't like Jack's score, so he's talking about McRae, I can take a seat off Roberts. I can take the seat off Roberts, he means, and put it on someone else. Yes, you can. That is correct, Max. So I just had to rethink of the question there. That is correct. I'm glad you got that. Yeah, not worth going with Briggs until he bottoms out. 100% valid. I actually forgot to go over this as well. Briggs has got like such a high break even that you've got to wait till round 5 or 6 for him to be relevant to bottom out to. Cheese says Gorn is known for coming out strong after a big loss. That is also true, Cheese. I'll try to fly through these comments. So if you got your scores in there, let us know how you scored this week and your weekly ranking, and I'll read it out here on the chat. And again, go sub to his channel as well. At the end of the video, I'll tag his channel. So it's Rookie Coach AFL. Great bloke. Actually made a new friend there, not just doing streams with him, going to the gym as well. So yeah, it's good to do things like that and get to know the community. Pufferfish says, is it worth bringing in Blyce now if I want to defend a rookie or bring someone else in, thinking Connor Sullivan? Well, what he was saying before is O'Sullivan's just a placeholder in the Cats' back line until some of their other names come back. So maybe going Blyce would be better, but it's best 18. So you could do that if you need to make upgrades elsewhere, Puffer. And good to see you back in here as well. Yaron, I'm happy to trade Gorn to Jackson. Okay, I like this. That 160k could come in handy, and Gorn likely to bleed cash. He looked lazy today. It's a worry. It is a worry, but yeah, these players definitely bounce back, mate. So hopefully everyone's going into their trades now and having a look at what they can do with their money, because it's the time for it. Who are you rage trading to? I'd love to know who you're doing. people in the chat. And then Max has got, this is my second year of Supercoach. Came 58K second year. Now I'm sitting at 9. That's not bad at all, Max. It's very good for your second year, mate. So you'll only get better. Spencer's lifted for you, Bills boys. What was Jovan's starting team? I have no idea. And then Yaron says he's round 7 is the first week we won't have to wait for a lockout lifting so bloody late. Yeah, true that. It's annoying having to wait to this time. So I don't know if I'll do a team review, but I might have to before bed tonight at some point. Shorty, another no-show. Selfish little man. Shorty is a busy man, so unfortunately. Final heads up. Boys, Max, WTF, we all know what that means. Puffer says, my mate scored 50th this week. Bang. That's huge, Puffer. That's bloody really good. Moved up 16,500 spots. Woohoo, says Michael. Good to see everyone still in the chat too. I'll get to your comments all a bit quicker, but it's always good having a guest on as well. Always happy with that. Blessy, I don't know if I've messed up that name. O11 says, speaking of Bedford, Bedford will be tagging Will Day. Yeah, that's right. And then Day's got his buy, so I'd be flicking off Day as well. 100%, mate. It makes a crucial point. For Will Day owners, you've got to probably trade him maybe to a Finn Callahan if you don't got the coin, or a Chera, depending who you like better. Cheers. Here we go. This is a half glass full. Only dropped 15,648 spots. Okay, so he's ranked now 71,000. I'll take that. That's good. All right. And that's not a lot of difference between you and I anyway for what it is score-wise. You can easily make that up, and I'm sure you will. Michael moved up 33K to get to 12K. Max went 9K to 18K. That's not too bad. You're okay. Bills went 41,000 to 12K. You'll take that. Yaron, what do we got here? 1,173rd. Total score of 4,235. Total score. Well done, mate. Very well done. Good to see everyone back in the chat too. We've been really consistent the last couple of streams. So I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, don't forget again to sub if you haven't already, so you get notified for the Saturday night, Sunday night lives, and the potties with the others as well. I'll definitely build it on that more than I did last year, and I'll try to get some other guests as well as the season gets out. CH 2191 highest score this week. That's wild. Jack, here we go. This is what I wanted to hear from my man Jack. Definitely going to have a drink with you when you get back to Australia, mate. But says you went from 12.8K to 622. That would have made his weekend, mate. So congratulations, Jack. I'm very surprised that was my ranks. It's where you belong, though. You're a very good super coacher. The Aiden staff, 69, currently ranks top 600. There we go. Is anyone in the top 100 in this chat? Because that's really well done, mate. Congratulations. That's huge. So it's never been ranked so high. I'm sure it will all fall apart soon. Don't be negative about it. Nah, you're here. You're in the right channel to get the advice, so you'll be fine. I'll make sure you don't get out of there if I can. Then Puffer Fish is asking if you got that score specifically. Then CH follows up with no, Puffer. That was the highest score. Perryman to Farrell. I actually like this pick. It's a pod pick. I think if you need to make a round, you do it. If he has our top 10K, I'd just send it. I actually like Farrell. Holy crap. That's unreal. CH is ranked 50th. Cheese, 6K off Marek. That's annoying. Yaron, weekly winner, had Callahan and Baylor Smith. Crazy. That is crazy, Yaron. Thank you for all you contributing in the comments too. It's what actually makes the lives keep going. I do appreciate the time you guys put into this as well. Come a long way in the last 4 years. I'm enjoying all the new faces as well this season. It's been good. But yeah, if your side has had a rough start to the season, don't tune out. There's always bounce back. Like, I can try to make sure you trade your way back into a good rank. I can't get it all right, but I've been there before. Like I was saying an hour ago, and I've said it many a times in my streams, in 2023, 100K rank as a content creator in round 1, and then I clawed my way back to around that top 5,000. Just had to trade well and VC and C pretty well and back my gut, which I probably should do a bit more because my ranking would improve if I did that. It says, yeah, but did you see the overall rank? I wonder what it was then. Max, I need a big week this week. Please, God. Went to 9K to 18K. You'll be fine, Max, promise. Should be fine. As long as you trade right, you'll be absolutely fine. Puff, I already got Callahan. I'm thinking of Day to Dale. I like it, Puff. So Ash's night, mate. Have a good one. You too. Thanks for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again, I'm sure. Geez, what is your rage trades? I want to know, mate. I was Jan 36K rank. I think my decision has been all right, though. So I reckon I can call it back post round 60. I think you can do it sooner than that, Jan. Perryman get traded out was better than anything I've ever felt. Yeah, 100%. As soon as you can trade Perryman, the relief is like pissing when you haven't pissed for 6 hours because you're sitting on a train and you don't want to go to train toilet, so you're holding it on. So I can feel that. Bailey, here we go. 11th overall. 61st for the round. All right, there we go. This is what I want to see in the chat too. Like, any given week you do really well, and you know I'm on a live stream on a Sunday night majority of the time, jump in here, have a flex. I'll call out your name, call out your rank, and you can put it in there 4 times if you wanted to, Bailey. So congratulations for 11th overall rank and 61st for the round. I like Amon, but I think there's better players around the price for that. Bit of a pod. As I mentioned, though, a Dale or a Holmes even is good. But look, he's a pod pick, and it could really pay off pufferfish if that's what you need to do and steer away from the crowd. That's something you can definitely go for. Don't hate it. But yeah, good point as well. Aiden says the Amon has to buy next week. The winner week, that's weird. 150K rank for the winner. What's your total, Brad? I'll just go into my laptop and I'll let you know. That is the biggest POV view right there. That face. So the unreliable internet for my laptop. What do we got? So my total score is 4,233 for a season rank of 1,220, which I'll take. And I beat Jonas in draft by 300. So Jonas gets stuffed. Beat you. I'm just kidding, Jonas. But did beat you. Puffish, I can do Day and prior to Dale and Amon and Lindsay. Oh, Dale or Amon and Lindsay. Yeah, Lindsay's, I think, not a must-have, but he's certainly up there. And I'd probably go Dale still. I think most people will go Dale over that sort of pig puffer. But yeah, I think the trading for this week is probably more important than the next 4 weeks. If you get this week right, you'd be laughing. You just got to set up your team with the right rookies and see how you go. Puffer's laptop's about to go flat, mate. Have a good night. You too, Puffer. Thanks for watching again, mate. Appreciate your time. As always, everyone's time in here. Lindsay, break even negative 75, bias negative 84, and Nod has negative 75. All right, well, I'm bringing in Nod over Ashcroft then, cheese. Max says, mine is 4067. It's over. No, don't quit. It's not over. Definitely not over. You're only, what's that? You're like 170 points behind from 1,000. So you're absolutely fine. Like you saw, Rookie Coach and I, we were different. I think his was like around the 1,000 for his first week, and I was around 5,000, and that flipped on its head. So 1 week is a lot of time in Supercoach, and you've got 20 rounds to go. So you just got to stick it out in your second year and just hope that you play the game right and listen to the right people around you and look at the eye test, really. Jesus, all right. I'm off, Brad. Have a good night, brother. Yeah, you too, mate. Thanks for tuning in as well. Appreciate it always, Cheese. There's been almost a 3-hour stream waiting for the Supercoach teams to come out with our overall score, and it's 11:30 at night, which is a stitch up and a half because a lot of the other content creators can't do their videos before like a 6 or 7 a.m. wake up, which is rough for them. But only good thing about being on Arvo shift is I can stay up late and do a team review, do a live stream, and my night's fine because I don't start till 3 p.m. So for my trades this week, probably a bit early. Probably going to have to get rid of Dolan at this point and Finno Sutherland and bring in Henderson. Who's the other guy? Hendo and Nod for me. So probably just the 2 trades. And I don't want to use a boost. So Nod scored a 96. I'm pretty sure I could do that in 2 trades. O'Driscoll is Nod, if that's what you're wondering what's going on. And then I swing Max Hall to the forward line. Of course, my computer's touchscreen, so it did a stupid button. Touchscreen's so annoying sometimes. I might as well just use the mouse. I don't know if anyone's got a touchscreen laptop, but and then the last midfielder I can bring in is Henderson from Melbourne because I've already got Xavier Lindsay. I went early on him. Henderson, what did you score, mate? You scored a 72, Jack Henderson. So just to repeat those trades, it would be Josh Dolan and Finno Sutherland for Henderson and O'Driscoll would leave me with 31k in the bank, and I wouldn't have to use a boost. The other thing I could do, I'm fine with Sheasel, but if Gorn is money I could do something with, is it really worth bringing in Cherry? Probably not. It's probably not worth a trade from Gorn to Cherry. But I'm not going to lie, it is very tempting looking at my Supercoach on a Sunday night rage trade talk and just point chasing completely and going, you know what, stuff you, Gorn. If I trade out Gorn and Gorn goes nuts next week, I just advocated not to trade him out and just hold. Maybe we wait a week, well, not a week. Maybe we wait till Thursday, Friday, see in any of the press conferences if there's something is going on, mentally or physically. And if we get a gut feel that we should, maybe we do, but it's just a pity Cherry's not 100k cheaper, and there's no other ruckman I like. Against Wits, what have he scored before against Wits? His last 3 against Wits have been 97, 130, and 88. Now, with Geelong, it's different because they've got no SDK ratings, but against Geelong, he's only gone 111, 92, and 98. If Stanley's back next week, maybe it's not an easy run through. And then he's got Essendon, who are quite restrictive in ruckman. I'm almost talking myself out of this, but I'd be lying if I said my team's pretty damn good. I'll show you in my team review. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted going from Gorn to Cherry. And this is only if your whole side is pretty darn good. But I don't know if it's worth a boost and a trade. This is so much money leaking in Gorn too, if that does happen. That's annoying as hell too. I wanted to see Aiden Johnson play a game as well because Aiden Johnson was the one forward rookie I really liked. And then he got suspended and he was giving Max a chop out. So, yeah. Jack says, same here, Legend. Have a good night. You too, Jack. Thanks for jumping on. Great score. Hope you have a good week. To you both. To everyone, in fact. And Max says, I need like a 2-1 this week. Yeah, it's probably just need like 100 points over the next 2 weeks to gain what you've lost, which is not hard to do. You just need a luck and trade right. Okay, now I've started the Gorn movement. I didn't mean to do this, but he's gone Gorn to Jackson, Day to Callahan, and Berry by Patton, Fraser D6. Ooh, okay. With 6,000 remaining, tempting. It is tempting to steer away from the pack and do something like that too, Yaron. So I don't hate it, but I also don't condole it 100%. Someone give me Max Gorn's break even because I'd love to know. Okay, Harry going to be like 590k, is he? Okay, that's huge. That's a bad thing. Let me have a look what I can do on my side then. All right. Sorry for that point of view. I was looking at my laptop again. What do you think with Stewart? But doesn't matter. Right, 77k now and have Perriman plus other headaches. Thoughts on Fraser? I actually like Fraser here, Travis. He's going to be a cash cow. I don't know how much he'll make. Someone in the comments look up what Fraser's break even is and tell me what the cash is. Because I'm clearly not on my laptop, unfortunately, for sharing a screen to show you. But I don't hate the idea because you could use that money going down on somebody else that's shat the bed in your side. Max is against a big boy. Yes, he is against Rob. Aiden says shortened day out for Dale and Callahan. I actually like that, mate. That's a straight shot. Max, Brad Max has to go, and Harry for me. Fair enough. Pull the trigger. You'll be going against the crowd too, which is not a necessarily bad thing to make up ground. Hayden, I like that. Yaron, the thing is, I really don't want to use a boost yet. Yeah, I'm the same. Yaron, same boat. I think Max break even is 160. Wow, marry me 180. Yeah, I think. Yeah, right. -1 for Fraser. Crazefit bringing in Cherry, Dale, and Baz. I like it, Crazefit. Absolutely love it. That's a good shout. Bringing in some of these guys that maybe you just run with and hope that you build a better ranking off as well, and just go gut feel because you've got to do something different at some point to catch the pack. And if it's getting a Carl aim on to be aggressive and get a pod, and you think you're 70k, if you're 70, 80k and you're far behind that you think you should go for pods, then you're probably going to make more ground grabbing a pod at a less ranking than grabbing a player that everyone else has because you're not going to make up any ground doing that. So if I'm sitting at 100k again ever, I'm probably just going to start picking pods to see what happens. It's only way back. But I think round 2 is too hard to be that far back anyway. 180 break even for Gorn. Bailey. G'day, Bailey. Says, traded out one last week. Oh, no, for Bice to make other trades. Now I'm going to bring him back in. Yeah, that's annoying as hell. That's annoying. That's not ideal at all. I'm wondering if there's anything else I can do on my team, but my team's so solid. I've got Sheasel, Zorko, Clark, and Roberts in the back line. My back line, I do need to upgrade my back line somewhere, though. There's a weakness in my back line. I've got to get a decent D5, and if that means Fraser, that could be a possibility to actually grab him. I just don't know how to get to Fraser. That's the other avenue I'm not sure of. Aiden says, thanks, Max. No, 180 BE for Harry, I think. Oh, for Sheasel, right. My apologies, right. I pushed that twice, I think, Max, maybe even 3 times. So, yeah, look, the side's going well so far. Around that 1,000 marks, really nice for my round 2 as well. I feel like, I know it sounds a little bit early on this, but I feel like it's definitely my year. And I think it's a year to definitely follow me as well because my team on paper looks good. As long as the luck continues to go my way, I think you'll be in for a good ride watching my reviews and previews. And, it'd be nice to have a top 1,000 finish as well to get a bit of recollection for the hard work I've been doing over the off-season as well. And nailing, I feel like 90% of my views have been right so far. So I'm going to back that judgment and we're in for a good season, I reckon. I'm probably selling myself short on top 1K. I reckon we can get top 500 this year. I think I've studied enough to not let it bite me this year. So see how we go. Max says, okay, I'm going to bed and need to be aggressive. Wish me luck. I wish you luck, Max. Definitely don't always sleep over it, mate. You'll bounce back. Birdman 18, McRae likely to go 100. McRae likely to go up 100K next week against the Tigers. Yeah, probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Max says, love the work, mate. Thank you. Do appreciate that a lot. Just trying to see what else. I know my DMs on Supercoach are going nuts in Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter already too, do give us a follow. I do tweet a lot on some of the players and just random stuff about AFL, of course. So that's Supercoach Pro 91 is my Twitter handle. And you'll see my same little logo I use for YouTube on my Twitter. So, yeah, I almost might wrap it up there, I think. Just about done. There is one thing I do want to plug, though, before I do finish. I'll get to a couple comments maybe before that. And then I'll just about get it out of here. It's almost midnight, and I'll do the review of my side. So if you want to check out the review, that should be out tomorrow. I'll release it like 5 p.m. if you want to look at that. And what do we got? CWT says, I don't know what to do with my hands right now. Simply Flabbergasted said, yeah, I know. Yeah, you would be, especially with the side you've got. I was hearing rookie coach say before, mate, that you're killing it. So, no, it's really good. Really good to see that, mate. Aiden says, I could also go short and day to Fraser and Dunkley, but I like Dale and Callaghan better. I think I do too as well. I definitely think so. That's probably a good trade. Like Fraser's, you're gonna have to upgrade him anyway at some point. It's a high chance that he's not a keeper, but there's also money involved, and he could replace a bad rookie. Whereas if you just take the Callaghan and Dale option, you know what you're getting. Callaghan's at worst, your M8, and you're probably happy with a 105 M8. And then Day to, what was it? Dale, sorry. Is just going to be consistent. Like, you know what you're going to get from Dale and Callaghan over at Dunkley and Fraser. At this point, Dunkley's pretty expensive. Besides his 173, you've already missed it anyway. So, also on my Twitter, I do want to plug something that's very important to me. While I've still got a few of these sitting around, and I'm going to do a run, the Great Ocean Road Running Festival, and it's for Beyond Blue. And I think having a platform such as this needs to be talked about a little bit more for men's mental health in particular. So, if you do jump onto my Twitter, give us a follow and have a look at. I'll repost the link there, and you can donate to the fund of Beyond Blue. And just with mental health side of things, there's a lot that's happened in my life in the last couple of years that I've always been afraid to open up with. And the people around you, there's people, loved ones, that always be happy to hear these things instead of seeing you in a fine box. So doing this run, probably going to be pretty emotional for myself. I think it's in May. So I just signed up to it last night at like 2 a.m, just random 2 a.m. thoughts, and thought I got to do something for people who've been in the same boat. So, yeah, if you want to donate to that cause as well and do that run, there is still availabilities to some of the events. I'm doing the 6K run, I think it is. Mind you, I haven't run in about 3 years, so I've got 6 weeks to prepare for this run. There is an entry fee, of course, and they give you a time if you want to have a time stamp in there as well. But, yeah, definitely check that out. And, talk to your mates and reach out to them too, because sometimes it's the ones that are always asking how you are, and the funny ones, or the ones that are always trying to cheer you up. You sometimes don't know that they're going through a lot of stuff, and it's actually benefiting them by them reaching out to you. And sometimes it is hoping that you ask the same questions that you're asking them. So I just want that to be really clear, because it's definitely something that I don't think, without the live streams, I know it sounds really crazy, but the live streams have made me appreciate the people in the chat and people just being there for each other, just to have a good time, talk to Supercoach. And for me, the live streams and Supercoach is a distraction from some outside noise sometimes. And I don't think men talk about it enough at all. And I understand that therapy and all that is expensive as well. And believe me, I haven't been paying for some of that at some point as well, because it's just so expensive. But there is people that are always happy to chat, and it's important to speak to your family and close friends about that stuff, because you only get one shot at this life. And if Supercoach and other avenues like that make you meet new people, and like I've met Rookie Coach AFL through, it's important to make those connections, because they just give you someone to lean on in a hard time, and people can relate to what you're going through, because you actually find out that they've gone through the same shit. So it's just something I wanted to give a quick plug, and I'm glad that everyone has stayed to listen to that. So just really important to me that you don't have to donate to the cause, of course, but if you do, send me a repost that on my Twitter, and you feel like you want to donate to the cause, I'm running a little thing on the page you can click a link to, and it goes straight to Beyond Blue. So anyway, I just thought I would plug that while I'm here. Anyway, Max says, Max, Harry, Short, T.O., Dale, Cherry, Zorko time to make up ground tonight. Seems like you're sorted with your trades there, Max. I think definitely Short's got to go. And Cherry and Zorko will be good picks for you to make up ground. Theo would do Callahan, Lindsay, and Oliver for Roberts, Sutherland, and Sanders. Let me have a think about this, Theo. Yes, I would. Oh, wait, not for Roberts, though. Would you do Callahan, Lindsay, and Oliver for Roberts, Sutherland? I'd get rid of Sanders. I'm not sure I'd get rid of Sutherland. I'd only get rid of Sanders there, mate. And Foss, but not Roberts. Sorry, I'm just sort of a bit distracted after what I was talking about. Max says 100%, mate. Men's mental health needs more attention. Love that, mate. Thank you, Max. I do appreciate that. Content is done. What trades are we looking at? Probably looking at O'Driscoll and what was the other player I was talking about? Nod and Henderson. I'm going to get rid of Dolan, and I'm going to get rid of Foss, Sutherland, mate. So that's what trades I'm looking at. What about you? Max says, I don't know you, mate, and you don't know me, but I can tell you have a great heart, mate. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks, mate. Fuck, give me 2 seconds. Fuck, no. Sorry, chat. It got me in the feels, mate. Not gonna lie. Rookie Coach says, "What a man he is." Chat. Thanks, Rookie Coach. Ozgen says, "Love that, Brad." Yaron says, "Been battling with depression, anxiety, insomnia for 15 years. It helps me to make people laugh. My mum, RIP, used to call me the clown, happy on the outside but sad inside." Yeah, definitely get that, mate. So can totally relate to that. But yeah, always here if anyone wants to chat too, because there's definitely something that we just don't talk about enough in men's mental health, and this community is absolutely great for that. And yeah, sorry for your loss about your mum, mate. It's a hard thing to deal with when you lose parents or family in general. It's this huge loss, and I don't think you ever really recover from that. You just sort of got to hold up your head and try to just remember all the good memories about that person, and they made you a better person to who you are today as well. So feel for you, Yaron. It is hard to know too. Like, just that's such an eye-opening comment too, because you don't know the people in the chat as well going through the same kind of things over the years, and to read that sort of thing is so relatable as well. And you have no idea. Like, you'll do a stream and you'll be dealing with other outside noise as well. But to jump on this is just a bit of a distraction and a bit of a happy time for yourself, just to talk a bit of Supercoach and not worry about work tomorrow. So, Rookie Coach says, we got your brother with a heart. Oh shit. Oh God. Much love too. Thanks, mate. I appreciate the donation. I really do. Thank you a lot for that. You didn't have to do that at all. I appreciate that, mate. All right, I'm a little bit lost in my trades and the content that we're going through because of that chat, and I just feel like I needed that chat at some point as well. So I'm just going to go back to where we were. We were here. Sorry, Lockie says, "Good on you, mate. No worries, mate, at all." All right, I'm back. I'm composed. Jono says, "G'day, legend. G'day, mate. Hope you're doing well." Max says, "Sorry for your loss." Yeah, absolutely. Ozjan, my Sunday trades are Gawn, Stewart, and Patton for Cherry, Dale, and O'Sullivan. Mental health is just as important as physical health. So I hope Gawny's all right, but he has to be a part of my Sunday rage trades. Yeah, 100% he does. And hopefully he's doing all right too, because, yeah, it is a lot. Maybe Gawn needs a week off himself, because I took a Friday off. I took Friday off just this Friday for footy, and also just a mental health reason, I guess. Just sometimes you just need time to yourself, and that was the whole purpose of taking Friday off from work. Because work can make you feel bad sometimes for taking a sickie, but sometimes you mentally just need it, and I don't think that's something that workplaces really think of much either. That you're just a number sometimes to them, and you just got to look after yourself rather than worrying about what happens if you call in sick. So I think that's what sick leave is for too. People don't understand sometimes, and it's what it is. Yaron says the song "Demons" by Imagine Dragons is my song. I'm sure you know why. Yeah, yes, I do. As soon as that song was mentioned, yes, I 100% do, Yaron. But thank you for continuing to stick around and sharing that with us, mate. Appreciate that a lot. This Jono says the song I really enjoy listening to is "Better Days" by Pete Murray. Absolutely, 100%. Theo, Sutherland Sanders Leak, Sutherland Cats. I'm going to get confused with the two Sutherlands here, Lindsay and Oliver. I like that, Theo, very much. Oh, the little heart emoji. Max, it says, "You're a great man, mate. You deserve the world, bro. Here for the ride. I love seeing you do good on YouTube." Thanks, Max. I appreciate that a lot. I have no idea. Thank you for those kind words. And Yaron said, sorry, Max says, "Yaron, wow, mate, that's amazing." Yeah, absolutely. You caught me off guard. Rookie Coach, glad you're back in the chat, mate. It says trade wise, this is what he's doing. Pez to Dale, Boss to Hendo, and if Stewie is out for more than 2 weeks, he's going to go Amon. I've said it a million times, like isn't like a nut. Or Nasiah. I actually like Nasiah. I know his scoring hasn't showed better than Amon. This week against the Tigers too, he probably goes 130. Aaron says, "Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. And it's why it was easy to share, because this community is a beauty." Absolutely. Yeah, 100%, mate. That's why it was important for me to share on a platform like this, because this will get hundreds of views, and hopefully maybe I'll even timestamp that particular little chat that I had, just to get that out there, because I think it's very important, because without Supercoach and a few other things, I'm not sure I'd be here sometimes. You know what I mean? So thank you for sharing, Aaron. And I just seen that team of the week has actually only made their team this week, hence why they're 158k ranking. Oh, okay. That's stiff. That shouldn't be allowed, but I guess it is what it is. Lockie, I try to stay positive after a rough round in Supercoach. Surprised how the game can affect you sometimes, but it's all for the fun in the end. Yeah, 100%. Or Holmes. Go Holmes, rookie. You just don't know if you don't try. Go Holmes. You're a Cats man, so may as well. What's Oliver's break even? I'll have to get back into my computer. That's a good question. Oliver's break even is 31, mate. It's 31. Oh, okay. But, oh my God, rookie coach has already said that. Why did I look that up? Yeah, I can do that. Let me just see how I do that from my phone. I hope I don't lose my stream. I'll read these two out, rookie, and then I'll jump in. I'll put you in the studio again. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, and it says, don't forget to do the unspeakable things to the like buttons, guys. Yeah, give us a like for the video. I do appreciate it. And give us a sub as well. Thanks, Sharon. Max, Shorty made a video. Does not look happy. All right, I'll have to have a look. All right, let me put you in. Copy to a clipboard. I don't know if I can add it in there. All right, let me put a tab. I don't know if it'll let me. Are you in the stage? In the stage, okay. Max says, the studio code is the Batcave. Lol, it is the Batcave. God, how do I do this from my phone? Shit. Oh, there you are. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, sweet. Sorry, man. I didn't know how to do that on my phone.
That's all right. It's record time. Got to make content. Come back and gone from Supercoach to mental health. It's been a good stream, mate.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. I was going to do it before when you were on the stream, but I would have got a little bit too emotional, so I didn't know when to sort of
There's no
plug
such
that.
thing as too emotional, mate.
Yeah.
No such thing.
But yeah, we're back in the Batcave. So you've already done your recording for your team review.
Uploading as we speak.
Holy shit.
I'm quick with it, bro.
You're very quick. I'll probably premiere. How do you say it? Premiere? What is it?
Premiere.
Yeah, mine for like 5 p.m. tomorrow because I just want to give myself some time to get it sorted before Arvo shift tomorrow, mate. What time do you got to get up?
I'm working from home tomorrow, so it'll be fun.
I hate you.
I don't know whether to premiere this at 5 just because I've got the stream tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, you could.
I'm just gonna upload it.
I sort of like premiering it because I like to have you seen the drama thing that it does for like 3 minutes, the cinematic?
It annoys me because the music of it is so loud. And then it goes to the video and then it's just quiet. It annoys me so much.
I do it because I watched it myself. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on at 5 p.m. Let's watch
it.
Yeah. Michael says if someone cat scores 51 for the following 2 weeks, he makes 80k.
It's not bad.
Yeah. It might be worth a shout, actually. But I don't think you're keen because you're an inside Cats man, so you'd know it's probably not worth a shout because you know the role's going to be out of there if old mate comes back, Cole, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good shout, don't get me wrong. Like Cole is a Cos, we'll call him Cos. Costco is he's got the ability to hit, like we've seen that you can do an 84, which is awesome. And we want to see that in a rookie, but it's just whether he gets enough time because, like, ideally, if you're paying 148, I think his price is at the moment. Like, I'd love to get two
Yeah.
price rises out of him if that's his potential, because then it's a really easy flick up to a keeper with that cash if you put him down to like a 119 who's playing. But definitely good shout. Like, just pay attention to updates during the week from the category on Dewey's injury, see how long he's out for, because that could also affect it. Just that there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts at the category at the moment. So just pay attention if you're going to lock that trade in.
100%. Max says, Shorty's so mad. Oh my God, he's yelling so much. I'm crying. I'm going to have to watch these videos. This is going to be some... it's funny when you're not on the end of them, but when you're on the end of a shit week with the rest of them, then you're like, you just feel for them. But when it's not you, sometimes you're laughing because you've been there before and you're like, this is funny, but I don't mean it personally, sort of thing.
Well, this is the thing though. And like this, I'm going to tap back into the mental health thing because I don't think it's not known by anyone in the Supercoach community, because I've only been here for mainly a full season. I came in at round 6 last season, start making content. But I've actually done a couple of years as a life coach with just men, where we did a lot of like mental health work. We did a lot of like planning and routine work and all that sort of stuff. So like this sort of stuff and what Brad's doing is very close to what I hold important, just in who I am as a person, but also, how I can help and do all that sort of stuff. So like Brad was saying before, Brad is definitely one you can reach out to. I'm also someone you can reach out to. You can get me on X. You can get me and Brad on X, and even come to our streams. Like, it will be either with Brad or we'll be over on my channel as well. Like, we're Batman and Robin. So if there's one of us, there's probably both of us.
Yeah.
But Supercoach is interesting because we can get very emotionally tied to it, and we can get kind of upset if we do crap, and we follow the motions, and it's really hard. It's really easy to get stuck into that, and I definitely did that last season. But at the end of the day, it's a fantasy game. Just remember that other people have had worse weeks in Supercoach, and you're probably going to have better weeks in Supercoach, and it's just the ride we go on. You got trades, you can trade out of it. And if it's getting too much, hey, take a break. Just go spend time with the dog, go to the gym, go do another hobby. I'm sure there's something you can do that's going to sit with the kids, sit with the wife, whatever it might be. Just go do something to break the habit of getting emotionally tired. Because it can be daunting, can be a little bit depressing when you see you drop ranks. And honestly, look, I was full expecting to drop to like 10K overall. Because I saw my round rank, at like 20,000. I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then I only dropped about 1,000 spots or 1,300 spots. So it wasn't crazy and can trade into it. But that's my spiel. Now back to Supercoach. Back to you.
Yeah, no, definitely get what you mean there. I think even like this year, I noticed this is slightly off topic still while we're talking about, but like having a dog has helped me immensely over the last 9 months. I reckon I've had this dog for. I didn't really think, I'm not really a dog man. I'm actually a cat man, in all honesty. But when I got this dog, it was technically the missus's dog, but like I didn't realize how much walking a dog and getting out the fresh air with your dog, because walking for me is boring without the dog, but with the dog, so much interaction with random people as well, and like I don't know, the dog's always happy to go for a walk. So sometimes I do it 2 or 3 times a day just so she's happy. And yeah, it's nice just to relax from things and take a break from other outside noise. And probably one of the reasons I started doing live streams last year is I just wanted a little bit of a distraction from reality. And I saw these funny comments in the chats, and there'd be a lot of banter between like Cheese and Skizfits and Jack and all these others. And I thought this is great to do live streams because it feels more than just a super coach at the end of the day. It feels like a bunch of lads that you just want to chat to, that, you haven't got that other avenue when you're older to make newer friends, as we we're talking about at the gym today. So it is nice just to get into those sort of chats and just, not have to worry about much else when you're on a stream and whatnot. And like he just says, yeah, you guys are Shield guys for sure will be tuning in more often. So we appreciate that for sure, and should be a big season
Absolutely.
for both of us for sure.
No, I definitely appreciate that comment. And as Yaron was saying, like the community here has been nothing but welcoming. Like as someone who chats all the time, like you got Cheese and Yaron who gets amongst all the streams. I see it everywhere, Yaron, and I absolutely love it. But even as like a new content creator for someone stepping into the space like me, like the guys have been nothing but welcoming and supportive. And it's just, it's look, in these day and ages, I would say, oh, it sounds so old saying that. Holy, it is rare to come by that people are so, yeah, just so welcoming, open arms, and just don't really care about outside opinion. They just want you to get involved and have fun doing it.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. Says Sin is going to make a lot of cash, like 90K. What do you think of Sin's role? Like Sin tore it up against Richmond, but every halfback, flank, winger, etc., tore it up against Richmond. So I think his score is more like his first round one score. What's your take on this?
I still can't get a take on Sin. I don't, just because of the price. It's just such an awkward price. But I mean, yeah, making, what do you say, 90K off for two? Let me have a quick look at him on Supercoach actually.
I think
230 player, -12 break even, scored an 82, but that was against Richmond. He's coming up against the Dons. You're probably thinking he scores another 50. Don't know.
would you grab a Sin if you didn't want to field, let's say, a Reed, a Trainer, a Leak type play? Because that's the only way I'd advocate for that.
If you're replacing those, you would go to, I'd rather go to a Bice or a Connor O'Sullivan.
Yeah, true. This might be.
I think you're just paying up a bit too much for a 59 and an 82, whereas you've got O'Sullivan who's gone a 45 and an 84, I think.
Yeah, true. I'm saying this because I'm in that position as well myself. I'm like, I don't know what to do with D6. I've already got Bice at D5 technically, but I don't. When we're out of best 18, I don't want to field Reed, Leak, or Trainer. I'm so worried about D6. If it wasn't for best 18, I'd be very nervous right now.
Yeah, well, my my plan at the moment is, the more I think about going, see, you mispronounced his name, so now I'm going to Amon.
Oh yeah.
The more I think about going to him with the buy coming up, the less likely I am on the pick, and maybe more. I feel like just for the category, I might have to switch Stewart to a Holmes. But again, that means that there's like Pryor or Reed or Trainer on field. But I don't have Bice, which means after this week, my next trade for the following week, so like round 4, would be like a Pryor down to a Bice.
And Pryor should make money by then too, right?
Well, he plays this week, then he has the bye. Then round 2, hopefully he gets a game. There's obviously the concern of Cunningham, but from how he's been playing, they don't drop him, surely.
On my eye test, my gut test, I know this is another big call by me, but he played so well. I reckon he plays the rest of the season unless injured.
Oh, big call.
Going out on a limb, but just the eye test today was bloody amazing. Like, he got burnt a lot by Blakey in particular and Rampy, and I just feel like Bice. I'm going to go out on another limb here, and this is huge. So many limbs, not enough. I'm not an octopus, but Bice could be not your worst D7 come end of year. If you wanted to hold a rookie in the back line, I'd feel 100% comfortable having a guy who can comfortably get me an 80 on field as a coverage. So I intend on using a Bice as a D7 luxury if I can. That's how much I rate the guy. Look at his VFL numbers, unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's like why we liked him is the VFL numbers, and then he comes on as a sub and does better than a Reed and a trainer and a Pryor
Literally.
last week. Crazy,
And
crazy stuff.
it's because he's not key position. Like he's not in the same boat as a Reed, trainer, all those kind of guys, because he's not your 190 guy anyway. He's not your 195 or whatever we're talking about here. He's your running carry, chop up the back line. I mean, if Blakey gets injured, that guy's going to take out kickouts too. like, I'm not banking on that, but I mean,
given today, he still took 2 kickouts.
Yeah, I know, right? They trust a rookie who's been in their season, in their side for 6 months?
Yeah.
To take kickouts in your
that's a lot of trust to throw at a rookie straight away.
Right? And this is the good thing about mature age recruits. They're ready to go. Like, they're not here to, I'm going to language here, they're not here to fuck spiders. Like,
Such an Aussie slang thing to say too.
you know what I mean? Apologies for the language, but you know what I mean? Like, they're here to play footy and give it a crack. They're not, yeah, and they're good scorers generally, the ones that run off half back and don't have to. I can't remember who he was playing on, but there was times I actually giving me a little bit of attention so he couldn't run and carry. And that says something to me in the coaching box that, hey, he's actually a genuine threat to them. And we saw what he did in that goal.
Yeah, definitely.
That was clutch. Like, he won it for him, basically.
And that's what I mean, though. You had 2 kick-ins, also got a clutch goal. I don't know what much more you want from a rookie that finally gets to play their first full game, I think.
Yeah, correct, yeah. And he's consistent throughout the day. I mean, when I was checking his Supercoach scoring, I didn't do it quarterly, but I know at halftime he was on 42, and to finish on a 96, like that's consistency right there. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I saw a 96, but I definitely thought there was a 75, 80 game in him today. But I got kissed essentially because he actually scored like a primo for me.
Definitely got kissed. I think we know that.
I'll take that though. I'll always admit when I get kissed. I won't say it was genuine. I'm a master. Follow me. I'm ranked number 1 right now.
I mean, fuck, man. The rankings are so tight at the moment. I was having a look in the group chat while I was working on the content and doing the thumbnail and all that sort of stuff. It is so tight. Like, if you guys dropped like 3,000 ranking points, you can make that up in 1 week at this point because it's like 50 to 60 point differences, like maximum. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you can actually make that up in 1 or 2 weeks. Like, it's not a hard thing to do, and you've got luxury of best 18 for another 2 weeks. Like, you can bring in risky players and know that you've got a free hit at it. So I don't mind pods the next 2 weeks while it's best 18, especially if you're just like, oh, I'm going to throw a dart here and hope it lands. You've got every right to with 40 trades as well.
Yeah. That's also why, like, I want to bring Holmes in, but I also want separation, which means if I'm looking at like around the price point that I've got, which is about 544K, like Amon is definitely within that price point. At only 2.4% owned, but the next person is like that's solid a keeper is probably Naz, which is at like 11.
And the other thing with like a Nas or a Holmes is they get 1 more game extra scoring throughout the season. So over a Carl Amon. So,
and he's got the good buy as well for like round 13, I think.
Who does?
Naz.
Yeah, so maybe you go Naz if we're just brainstorming. But
I think
he passed. He passed the eye test, and I'm 100% certain that if it wasn't for McRae, he'd be a VC option this week. Because St Kilda, we saw what Port Adelaide's backline did to Richmond. There's nothing saying that there's not a world where Nas doesn't go 130 and Richmond kick 15 behinds and he takes out 9 of those kickouts.
Definitely.
So I'm looking at my trades right now, and I don't think I'll use a boost, but if I wanted to just purely base my trades on cash gen, I could go something like the week Dolan, Boss, for Sutherland, the Geelong Cats one with the job security of bugger all.
Yeah.
Given on time frame of Stewart, by the way, and then bring in Nod and Henderson, but it means it allows me to play Bice and O'Sullivan as your respective D5 and D6 to make it worthwhile. I wouldn't be bringing him if I was just wanting him as a bench player, though.
Yeah, true.
That's my only justification. But is it worth a boost in best 18? Probably not.
Yeah, that's my boost locks in Dale and like a Nas. Like I go from a Pez and a Stewart to a Dale and a Nas and get Hendo on the bench, who's probably decent cover for like a Sardis next round, for example, if Henderson plays.
Yeah, 100%. Like I probably always you're the similar is like you've got a plan for your trades, not just for this week, but what are you doing next week, or what happens if someone doesn't pass the eye test? What are you looking? Who's in your radar? Whereas for me, my team's so well set that it's only the rookies I've got to mess with. So I'm kind of like in this weird spot where it's like I should do something, but the better thing to do is probably just hold my hands and go, everyone else is going to waste trades. Why should you? But you just do it because you got them there. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, I've got trades to burn. Let me do it.
Exactly.
Max says, like he hit the sub. He probably already has. Hopefully this is good. Yeah.
He better.
Hopefully, yeah. But I think we're doing well. So Sports Clips says, okay, so he's got Oliver, Perriman, and Garcia. Oh God, I feel bad for them holding Garcia. I don't know if you saw the sub news, so maybe you didn't.
Oh no, I saw the sub news and I had a little giggle. Not gonna lie.
No, I mean hopefully Sports Clips. Maybe he didn't, is what I'm saying. I knew you would have.
Oh
but
right, gotcha.
Yeah, maybe didn't see it.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, but trade wise though, Oliver, Perryman, Garcia for Dale, Rankin, and Lindsay. No, keep Oliver, please.
Oliver scored a 130. There's no reason you'd do that.
Yeah, like Perryman and Garcia. I think Rankin you can hold off on. Do you have enough cash? This is a tough one.
He would have enough cash, I think, mathematically to go Perryman and Garcia to Dale and Lindsay.
What did Perryman's price drop to actually? Because I traded him out before I even realized. He's 407. So 407 you'll have cash. Just do the one, and then I don't know if you got like a Foss that you can get down to Lindsay. Like I think Lindsay's definitely a must. If you're going to get him in, you get him in now. I think you pass on Rankin.
Yeah, especially if they're resting him in round 2.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Scares me. Like he says, my round rank was 30k, and I sent from 3k to 6,200. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely. I went him ends. I'll read it how it is too. Like I'd be the worst news reporter if someone wrote like in Anchorman and gave me a fake script. I would actually read it out too, like just like Will Ferrell did in Anchorman. Yaron says I was a cat man too. I had 4 at one stage. When the last one passed away, I decided to adopt a retired greyhound. Then he writes, 100% made the world of difference to my life. Yeah, I'm just saying about my dog before. Like, it definitely does. I didn't realize how much mentally a dog is so good.
Oh, it's not. I got my dog, a Polo, who is a Maremma. If anyone knows what sort of dog they are, they're absolutely massive. He probably weighs about 50 kilos at the stage and comes up to my hip. And I'm a bit taller than Brad, but the hips a decent height. He's an absolute big gentle giant. He's a dork. Yeah, whenever there's a down moment, he's there. Just I feel like I don't know, dogs and cats too. I also love cats just as much as I love dogs, but just an animal, a companion like that changes everything.
100%. I agree. And then Max writes, yeah, my mental health was really bad. I was 150 kilo at 6'8", started the gym, was 33 kilos. Holy shit, that's amazing. Then he writes, feel amazing and getting into Supercoach and more. Like my mental health will always be bad on the footy end because of Essendon. Got a good sense of humour there by the looks of it too. And yeah, like things like gym, like we were talking about before, like absolute game changer to your mental health. Like struggle to get there half the time. Like when I message you, I'm like, I've got to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling, just snuggling the cat right now. Now I got to get up, but then you feel so good afterwards with the the pumped out chest, and then I'm doing push ups in the kitchen for dinner.
Yeah, oh yeah, you guys don't see Brad flexing in the gym all the time. I don't think he actually works out. I'm there doing a workout, and I just see him there just taking selfies in the mirror, just like that's all he does. It's great. He doesn't actually.
I was gonna say I've never taken a selfie at the gym.
That's
Well,
a
not with
lie.
you,
You have.
not
Not
with
with me.
yourself. There, no.
We might
Maybe
have to take one just for the chat.
no. Yeah, wow, that'd actually be quite funny. Put it as our little like thumbnail in the clip.
We actually could though. That's actually not bad. But we Photoshop in a Batman and Robin mask.
Yeah, pretty much. Can we also put like platform shoes on myself as well? Can I get to 6 foot?
I'll just shift our heights so at the same height. It's okay.
Just photo edit it to
Next minute, I just upload it. It's just got Tommy Stewart and Josh Hunt.
That'd be even better.
It would.
Yeah, and says well done, Max. 100%. It's good that the people in the chat too here, Yaron and Max, are opening up about these things and feel comfortable to talk about it as well. It means a lot to the community and just us as creators here, that we've created a safe space to be able to talk about this with these guys as well. I think that's so important. So it's nice to build a little community.
100%.
Max says, because I go for Essendon, mental health will always be bad. It's all right. I actually knew what you meant when I read that comment out. It's okay. And then Max says to Yaron, a little heart there. Yaron says, Max, it's only footy, buddy. I used to get emotional too, but I soon realised it's not worth draining my life for. So yeah, 100%, as you were alluding to before as well. Because we can get caught up with that kind of thing too. Like, it can give you a shit day. Like, it really can.
100%.
Max says, oh my God, so many best 18 rounds. So many best 18 round 4 as well. Yeah. It's I love it and hate it sort of thing. I kind of like it because it means you can fix your team without consequences.
Exactly. And it means you don't have to worry about the buy players as much. Like if you hold like a buy player per line, you can kind of actually use it to your benefit because you pretty much get the ability to then loop.
You can loop your rookies, yeah, as well. True. Yeah, very true, actually. Yeah, and it says seriously trading short device could be considered an upgrade. That's a good comment, actually. I like that.
Actually, very true.
It's like, the pyramid situation. You'd definitely trade these two. You wouldn't hold either of these. I'm in the boat of shipping them.
Yep. Yeah, in a minute.
Yep. No good. It's like shit on your shoe. You just want to get rid of it. Max, people were saying, why are you taking out Harry? Oh, he's talking about Sheasel because I have Clark. I feel like he outscores him and he needs Zorko. Yeah, that's fair enough. But just remember in the day, like I was saying before, any of these primos can outscore any other primo any given week. There's no guarantees either. Like we saw what happened to Stewart. He like one of these Clark or Zorko's going to get injured, and you've just wasted 2 trades now.
Yeah, it's a tough one because if you wanted Zorko, you kind of had to start him to get that first 5-ish games of that fixture, which is like we're seeing why you wanted to grab him. There is going to be a point where it flips because of the fixture, and then Sheasel's now outscoring Zorko. I think Sheasel will get up there. Like, this is just a floor score from Sheasel. He will get back up there. I guarantee you there's more things to fix in your team, Max. Like, if you have X or Twitter, hit one of us up. I'm sure either of us would be happy to look at your team and help make recommendations if you want to.
100%. We always just got to remember that if we don't follow them back, they can't DM us. So I forget that sometimes. Like, I don't know who's on the channel that's come across. I don't know who to follow back sometimes. So,
yeah,
like,
I'll just comment on one of our posts, Max, just saying,
yeah,
I need help, or I don't know.
help
Just say,
them.
okay, here you go. Max, if you want help, go to either me or Brad's X profile and just comment Batman and Robin.
Yeah, and we'll know what you mean.
We'll know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like the bat signal.
Literally. Oh, man. That's what the potty should be called on Saturday night, actually. We'll have to come up with something.
I like it.
Bouncy says Rosie into McRae easy as VC. Who was Rosie up against? What do we got? Let me have a look at Rosie's scoring history. I have a bad feeling I'm going to waste a boost this week just because I can, not because I need to. But this is Sunday Night Rage Trade chat. Okay, Essendon, that's why I was talking about him. 152 and 140, 152 and 141 the last two games.
Just keep in mind they may send Durham to him.
Especially without Butters. He might have had these scores when Butters was in here, hence why he was the second banana, as you've been alluding to.
And this is why Rosie's tough for me, because I wanted to start him, but he's technically first banana.
Ah, is that the only reason you didn't go there?
Yep.
Huh.
Because he's technically started the season as first banana, which means he's going to cop attention.
I have a good feeling that you and I will both, I don't want to jinx this, finish top 1K because we've got very similar mindset, very similar teams somewhat. And yeah, we're on the right wavelength in terms of VC and C by the sounds of it as well.
Definitely.
Thank you for the Elijah Hewitt one.
You're welcome.
Then we got Yaron says, and yeah, it's only round 3 coming up. We need to keep an eye on round 12. Yeah, actually, round 12 is huge. Good point with all the round 12 relevant players. Do you know how many players round 12 you're missing? Because I do not want to look at my side when I do that.
3.
The primos are shocking that I'm missing.
Maybe 5. 5
primos?
So I got, if
have
my
a guess
trade
how many I'm missing?
8.
6.
That's not bad. Well, here's my thinking. So currently I have Sheasel, Dale, Richards, Chera, DeConning, Francis, Francis, Daniel, and then that's it. DeConning's probably going to be moved on by that point. Daniel may be upgraded unless he holds his spot. Chera is gone. So then really I'll have Sheasel, Dale, Richards, Horny Man, and Daniel. So I'll only really have 4.
Yeah, okay. You'll be fine then. I think if you got any more than 5, it's nervous times. Like, I'm probably getting rid of Chera out of that bunch. If he sort of peaks at a price, he's my sideways guy. But honestly, if he keeps going, averaging 109, there's no reason to until he gets injured. That's when I break glass.
That's literally it, yeah.
Apart from that, I don't look at trading any of the other guys. Horn Francis, I'll probably keep an eye on for the next 2 weeks just to see what his role is, because it wouldn't be the worst thing to antipod a guy like Horn Francis, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be thereabouts top 10, top whatever, 8 at least. So do you really want to waste 2 trades to bring him back in when he's finally caught fire? And then if he's caught fire, how many scores have you missed before you can bring him in?
That's exactly right. That's where it's that hard balance of, do you wait 2 games? Like, if you waited 2 games to get Zorko in, you've probably missed his higher scores.
Yeah.
But again, I'm doing that with Dale. I'm 100% doing that with Dale. I've missed the highest scores. I don't expect to get those scores at all. Like, this is the thing. There's point chasing, and then there's like point of difference chasing.
Yep.
I'm grabbing Dale, knowing damn well he's probably going to be still under 10%, but he's not going to be a true pod, like under 3. But there's a point of difference enough where the only main person I'll have in the back line is Sheasel. The rest I'll have like Zorko, Naz, and Dale, which are all under 15%, say. So it balances out.
So hypothetical, and this is not the comments in here, but if you were to anti-pod one out of Gorn, Sheasel, or Horn Francis, where would you go?
I'm anti-podding Francis.
Really?
Yep.
Shit. Okay.
Any week he can be an absolute spaz and just want to fight 2 people at once.
I guess because like always going in the role, Sheasel you don't know the role, but like you said before, an hour or so ago, that he's got the floor of an 80. You're not mad at that for a primo. You're only annoyed when it's like a 64.
Yeah, I think it's really annoying because I was originally going to fade Sheasel, and it turns out it would have worked.
Yeah, it's because he dropped 170 on West Coast as well in the preseason game.
Yeah, but like Sheasel is like my blocker, and like a blocker in this instance is just to block spike scores from highly owned players. Essentially, it at least that's my understanding of it. Is I'm literally grabbing Sheasel to prevent falling behind the pack. Like I'm not choosing Sheasel because I want him and I think he's going to be whatever. Like I still think he's going to be top 6, but I didn't want to have Sheasel. So
I think that was my reason for bringing in Rankin this week. It's not so much that I'm in love with the pick. It's the fact that this guy's in 1 on every 4 sides. I need to stop the bleeding. If he's going to score at 128 and have a field day and his fixture's great, where else am I losing points? And I was like, probably F2 because I'm running 2 rookies in the forward line. I don't have to field a stupid Dolan or whoever the hell I had it there and try to get out the weak points. So every year, F6 and D6 and obviously 5 in correlation to that, you're always in these stupid 30 to 50s, and it's so hard to find a Josh Sin because you don't have the cash for it. Like, yeah, the scoring's going to be there a little bit, but how do you get there? Like, you got to then downgrade a primo. Is it worth it considering they're going to probably score the same and make the same cash anyway? Like, so hard to justify some players unless you're completely reshuffling 3 players and it warrants 2 of them improving.
Yeah. Before we move forward, I'm probably going to dip because I'm old. I probably need to get some sleep.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Did just want to pop back in while I had the time. It was a very important mental health section. I just want to make sure that I came support you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
But again, for those that have joined, I'm going to hijack his stream just a little bit right here. Okay. Make sure you do show love to Brad. He's done an absolute journey on his Supercoach for 4 years now and just cracked over 500. So make sure you share the love. Get around him. Get around the the Beyond Blue charity that he's doing and get behind that. I know I will be keeping an eye out for all the live streams that Brad does. I think you're on every night at this point. It's ridiculous. You're doing something. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if you don't mind, I also just uploaded my recent review of round 2 with my team. So if you need something to fall asleep to after Brad's stream, keep that in the back of your mind.
Definitely. No, it sounds good to me. I'll be doing that before I go to bed after my review. I'll probably be done by 2 a.m. by the time I get to sleep. So, but yeah, exactly. Thanks again, though, for jumping back on again after far out almost 4 hours here. So I appreciate your time and effort.
Mate, if we really think about this, how much time do you reckon we've streamed together over the last 24 hours? Because we did 2.5 hours last night.
5 hours?
At least. It is crazy.
That's
Dynamic
crazy.
duo, guys. As I said, Batman and Robin doing late night streams. It's a late night show. That's what it is.
It generally is, and there's still like 20 odd people in the house not sleeping right now and going, shit, I better set an alarm at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's basically it. But anyway, thank you for having me on, mate. Thank you,
Anytime,
chat, for
mate.
being the amazing community that you guys are. Yaron, special shout out for you, mate. And for all those that did actually open up tonight about mental health, it is people like you guys that we need more of, and just sharing the vulnerability, because it is okay not be okay. And make sure we all get around and make sure that movement sticks. It's not just a phase. It's not just a moment in the year. It's an everyday thing that we all need to live by. But with that heartfelt note, I will see you guys later on.
So, mate, thanks for coming. I'll finish off these questions and call it a night myself, mate. So, speak to you soon.
Rest easy, mate. Peace.
Will do. All right, I'll jump into the last bit of comments and then get out, because we've actually been doing this for almost 4 hours and it's crazy. Good to always have him on. I'm surprised he came back after doing his review, so I do appreciate that, rookie coach. Very much appreciated. So Yaron says, and yeah, it's only 3 rounds coming up by, oh yes, we did take a look at this. So the round 12 bye is probably the trickiest for most of us, which is unfortunate, because you had to load up on those players because we sort of had no other choice. Bouncy this weekend coming. This week's going to be a good week in footy too. I really hope the Tigs can get up. Max says, so funny, I do take AFL fantasy seriously and in the top 8K and put so much time into Supercoach and 18K. Wow. Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard. Oh, you wrote not. My apologies. It's a funny game, fantasy. I haven't really got into it as much as Supercoach. Travis says, would you trade Will Day to Lindsay to get Nass and Dale for Short and Pryor? Yes, I would, Travis. Bouncy says, geez, I got to miss it. I got to miss out on Levi or Lindsay. Which one? This is a hard one, actually, to be honest. Probably Levi because of the cash. Lindsay's got good scoring capability, just as much as Levi. I think Lindsay's is slept on too as well as a pick. Jono, you like my trades that I put up in Twitter group? I haven't really checked Twitter. I accidentally checked Twitter when I was trying to send Rookie Coach a DM before, but I haven't seen it, mate. So I'm going to have like 400 messages in that DM that I haven't looked at all. But I did you say something about congratulations on the round, I think it was. So I appreciate that. But I'll have a look. Maybe send it to me personal DMs and I'll have a look at your trades. Max, too much fixing. Jeez, I woke up to take a piss and you guys are still alive. I love it. And Rookie Coach is back. Literally, bro. Literally. I'm going to go back to do my review and then call it a night once I'm up to these comments. Yeah, literally. I don't know how we're going for 4 hours. I think this is... Can somebody tell me in the chat, or if you're watching this again, is this the longest live stream Supercoach chat you've ever seen? Because if so, I want to beat that record and then call it a night. Because I don't know if anyone's ever gone to 4 hours. Crazy. It might be a good time for me to bring in Whitfield. I think best defender. Good shout. He probably is thereabouts. Yaron goes, I want 2 boosts in case I need to do 4 trades over the later buys. That's the plan anyway. Always you got a plan, Yaron. 100%. It's so hard. You use 2 boosts at the start and just save the rest for buys? Probably. If you need to fix your team. The Aiden said, I faded cheese have Zorko D1. Far out. You're laughing then, mate. Yaron says, good night, buddy. Good night, mate. I'm almost off myself, I reckon. Or were you saying good night to Rookie, potentially? Max says, Clay Hall, mid from West Coast, went 88, 120K. Yeah, I think he played his first game, Max, too, as well. So that's one to keep an eye on for sure. He came in for Jack Graham, though, so just keep in mind his job security might be a little bit shaky. I'm almost off. The missus just woke up from a nap or from sleeping. Max says, Shorty, 55K rank. I feel for you, Shorty. And Yaron says, yes, it's the longest stream. And by the way, of Flemington Straight Okay. All right. I've done my numbers with that. Well, it's been a huge stream. So thank you for everyone for joining. I'm going to sign out now. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. I've been going for 3 hours and 48 minutes. So it's been good chatting to you. Again, I know I plug it a lot, but don't forget to like and sub to the channel. And yeah, like I said too, I really do mean it when I say you can DM me in Twitter, or reach out any way you want. I'll reply to you because yeah, I've been there, especially over the last few years, and I do understand where people come from with similar circumstances. I don't understand directly, but I will always be there for a chat. And yeah, thanks for everyone for the questions and the comments and everything tonight. I really appreciated it. Give us a follow on Twitter as well, Supercoach Pro 91. And yeah, if you haven't subbed to the channel, do so. You'll get notifications when I go live, and probably not too many 4-hour streams around about Supercoach, but I'm always here for a good banter and good chat and bringing on Rookie Coach. I feel like I've formed a good duo there, good chemistry there. So I'll try to do the review tonight, if not tomorrow morning, and I'll post my team review probably 5 p.m. I'll premiere it because I like to be a little bit dramatic and cinematic there. So, yeah, thanks again for watching. Have a good night. And I'll just finish with these comments from Yaron, and then I'm signing out. He's gone. Good pick with your review. Good night. Sorry, it means good luck with your review. Good night, mate. Good night, Yaron, and thanks for your donation once again, mate. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone stays safe, and I'll catch them on the next one. Cheers. Thanks, guys.